Yo. What's up? Blurs, thanks for subbing. Black Irish, Dream Zone, Jomoe. Deatha Marat, thanks for subbing. What's up, dude? Reblood, thanks for gifting 5 subs. Very fucking poggers. Louio and Agent 1 Orange 2, thanks for subbing. Gucci Messiah and Shadowity, thanks for subscribing. Nightmare Blunt rotation. What? Gold Gregory, Louis the Jolteon, Ricto Fram, Ultra Chod, Colonius, RN Jesus, Iron Bjorn, Murdiger, thanks for subbing. Where the fuck am I? Oh. Jiffy Pop, thanks for gifting 10 Subarinos. What up? Trump says you have nice eyes. Well, when we met in real life, I had only gotten 4 hours of sleep, so I don't know how he saw him. Quad jump acquired. Jonathan ran out of the legislation? No, I did. I wrote everything I'm gonna present. PD Tamwake, thanks for subbing. Bum, bum, bum. You actually prepared this time? No, what I did is I basically did it myself. I had Juno and Siobhan review it. Where was the meeting room? Ah! I'm late. I gotta go in.
Okay.
Good morning.
Greetings, compatriots in law.
Hi there.
Hello.
Fuck. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
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 Hi, Max.
Hi, Juno.
Hello, Max.
Hi, Philippa.
Hi there. How's it going?
Hi, Malton.
Hello.
Hi, Dakota.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Hi, Crane.
Oh, you recognize me as a person now?
Oh, damn.
Hi, Etta.
Hi,
Good
Max.
Oh, I see how it is.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Max.
It's the best for last,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
I kind of went out of order. Everyone's here. May the 2nd. Well, first of all, sorry for being late. 1. 2. May the 2nd weekly inaugural council of Los Santos, the Council of 8, begin. Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Um,
Sounds like a question, Juno.
so
Huzzah? Question mark?
does everyone have access to being able to see documents and like live edit them and shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Okay. From now on, for the next meeting, we're gonna have I have a meeting agenda document,
Ooh, okay.
I like that.
so that we don't go on for too long.
I
So-
just saw that too. Did you just put these in today?
No, I put them in last night. I kind of
Oh,
I
okay.
kind of worked late, me and Juno. For the next, I wanted to write something to show you guys how I imagined the agenda would look like.
Okay.
Put your name, colon, and the shit you want to talk about, kind of like how we did.
Okay.
That way we can be kind of prepared for what everyone's bringing to the table. Doesn't have to be too comprehensive. Don't have to write it right now. Just for the next one. So, I issued some homework. Does anyone remember what it was?
I was dying with the flu. I don't remember most of what happened. I'll be real.
Okay,
But I'm here.
good. The homework was to kind of craft a vision of what the pardoning process and the expungement process would look like, just so that
Oh, right.
Oh, yes.
not like writing something, but just kind of like thinking of how you would envision it, just so that when I present what I want to present, we're just all kind of on. We all have something to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a council pardoning process last night and an expungement process. This is once again probably more. It might be more dense than what everyone else has. So if we'll do my shit last again. Does anyone have any proposals they'd like to present?
Yeah, I could just rapid fire my proposals. They're all in there.
Sure.
First one, pretty straightforward. Basically, new law for a commercial parking violation. You know, time and fine. You know, whatever. That could change. But basically, I've noticed that a lot of Grime and Group 6 vehicles specifically like to park wherever the fuck they want when doing these runs. It's a
Yep.
big problem at the courthouse. It can be a big problem at the hospital. I
Yep.
know they do it at senior buns as well. Don't know how much of an issue that is in general, but they do it a lot. So I figured this is a easy way to ding them a little bit, make money for the state, and kind of not get them in line with everyone else, but maybe at least make the sidewalks a little cleaner where these Grime and Group 6 pickup and drop offs are.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it.
Are you going to draft up like what it should read like in the charges list?
Yeah, I mean, like that's something I could work with Crane, but it'd literally be unauthorized parking. But if you're a sanitation truck, tow truck, grime vehicle,
Vote
or
nay.
Group 6
It's like
vehicle,
an overly sized vehicle, kind of.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's definitely a problem that I've witnessed as well. Do we have any nays for approving the commercial parking violation?
I would just have one thing to add to it, just to like flesh it out,
Sure.
because there are certain areas where I know I can't speak to the others, but Group 6 specifically parks in a certain fashion because of the fact that they're transporting large sums of money.
Are you talking about the vault door? Or the
Correct.
vault door?
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
they have to do it, I think that's obviously a clear exception, right? Like the police would just know, okay, we're not going to ding
which
people for this. you
Yeah,
know?
which is fine. I just wanted to make sure I put it
The
out
vault
there.
location
so it's
is
in the
literally the only one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but wasn't there guidance put out by the cops about that though, where they said when you're dropping off at the vault, you have to do it here.
Yes,
And you
I
have to do
made
it in a
that
certain
note,
way,
yeah.
or it's not legitimate.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
I made that note. I just wanted to bring it up again for everyone here, just so it was seconded.
Okay. So the vault drop off would be the only exception to this. Yeah, because like they will literally just pull up right to the courthouse doors in their
Move
trucks,
to
and
incident.
it's
What does that
a little
mean?
ridiculous.
I've heard people say they'll do it at the hospital and pull right to the doors, which is
Oh,
crazy. I
yeah,
haven't seen
I've
that,
seen
but I've
it.
heard people talk about
I
it.
have witnessed it. Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Would
This
this
for cops?
also qualify behind Bay City Bank, where they line up to get as close to the door as possible? I know that's also a
I would
logistical
say in
thing
that
for them.
case, no, because that's like an alleyway. Like,
We don't
maybe-
have
maybe-
laws about parking in alleys.
Okay,
Yeah, okay, well, there you
perfect.
go. Then.
No problem.
Wait.
All right. Well, I guess yeah. Any nays?
Huzzah!
I am 100% for
Yeah,
that.
huzzah.
All right. Next thing, this is going to be the just the one right above it. Lawyers required on all contracts. I guess like a little mini disclosure. This kind of came about from just talking with various members of the DOJ and seeing
Banana.
a court case pop up in which this is kind of an issue. The TLDR is there's a lot of people on the yellow pages who advertise contract services. Many of them are claiming to be former lawyers, legal aids, et cetera, et cetera. You know, playing a little bit fast and loose in this. Personally, I don't have any problem if someone wants to write a contract, but I do think that a lawyer should be required to sign it for it to be legally binding. You know, that just gets someone else, like a third
I
party,
really-
to look over the contract, make sure it's following the law, you know, the legislation that we all pass here. And there's really no excuse if that contract, you know, it isn't in
Who is that?
compliance at that point. If a lawyer does help write a contract, that would also make it a
It is Willy
legal,
Wonka?
Service that is covered under the attorney-client privilege as a contract.
Prefer to thank my
services is a
sub.
type
You're not
of
sub.
law
Burgal,
service.
thanks for subbing them. DJ Doyle, $3. I'm about to send you a sneak peek of a new song that's coming out soon. It can be played on stream and enjoy it. It's in your Discord DMs. Nice.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And people
I'm
shouldn't be
interested
writing
in that.
contracts like that if they're not lawyers, because then
Yeah.
essentially
Ophobic.
Mhm.
we try to
Mosquito
adjudicate
crucifixion. Max
whose
stop.
fault was and whether or not it should be enforceable. There's no one to hold accountable if it's written poorly.
Exactly.
I post the ASCII in
the
Twitch
only
chat.
thing I have in here, and once again, you know, we could change it if you all want, but this is a
Adventure Links or something?
retroactive thing. If a contract currently doesn't have a lawyer's signature on it, if
It's null and void.
well, no, they have 14 days.
Oh, there's something I
get
wanted to
one,
change.
right? Like if they can't find
okay.
a lawyer in 2 weeks to say, hey, this is legal, they clearly don't give a fuck because they're not trying hard enough. But the point is, there is no grandfather clause. Your contract has to get a lawyer to sign it for it to be legal going
Okay.
forward and even retroactively.
Seems reasonable.
Yep.
Just one question. What if there's like a legal how would I even say this?
Nice.
What if the contract is already being brought up for dispute legally before someone's trying to go get a lawyer to sign it?
I mean, look, that could, in theory, just be like a case-by-case basis, right? The
Okay.
trial judge could handle that at the time. You know, I know there's already one case like that on the docket. Maybe there'll be others, but this should at least cover 99% of existing documents. You know?
Got it.
Okay.
Do we vote on that? Any voters? Any nayers?
No nayers.
All right.
Okay, easy enough.
And then the last
Wow.
thing, this one is more of an open discussion with you all, but it is going to be the one right above that. At the disclosures, I have that as a work in progress. Basically, I've talked to various people, you know, once again, from, you know, either on this council or within the DOJ. And I've kind of separated this into 3 levels of disclosures. You know, we have the light, the medium, and the heavy section. And yeah, it's just like, how strict do we want to be with our ethical disclosures?
I ain't saying shit on this, bro. I ain't saying shit on this, bro. Hell nah.
So the lawyer one's
Speaking for
approved.
something-
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the contractual error one got approved.
I'm just adding an approved tag when we do that.
Oh, okay.
Fuck yeah, good idea.
Nice.
Did I forget about using a special phone for the meeting?
If I'm looking at this
Yeah.
straight off the bat, my initial would be medium minus the name of your legal and blood relative.
I mean, personally, I'm if we yeet, yeah, that name, the names of blood relatives, I'm fine with that. I mean, we as the council could always tighten these or loosen them as time goes on with like another vote. In
Yo,
the
Kermit.
future.
Which document is
Kermit.
this? Because I'm seeing, I don't
Kermit.
know. Quite been able to
got any food?
1483. It's ethical disclosures work in
Hook
progress.
Hook a man
find
up.
to see too many
Fuck.
dead medical reports.
I got water in
Sometimes
cans.
things are hard to find.
God damn it.
1483.
I was planting.
Perfect,
I was
I appreciate it.
planting
Alright, I
carrots
got it.
earlier. I'm not growing
Weed?
yet.
You're planting weed?
Carrots.
You growing weed, dude?
No, what? That's illegal. Why would I do that?
Kermit, you growing weed?
No, I don't grow weed.
Alright,
Why are you
okay.
yelling it?
I don't know, sorry. Sometimes I just can't control the volume of my voice.
I don't grow. I'm not doing anything illegal while I work for ETA.
He knows better. I'll end his life.
Parts. Some days I kind of wish you just would anyway.
Stop. Okay. Well, I'm used to heavy disclosures, honestly, back when I was deputy mayor, so I have no issues with that. So, but that's
Good friends is probably too expensive. I think that's
That is very
vague
yeah.
and
In this city,
subjective to
everyone's
who you
friends.
are and
Yeah.
how social you are.
There he is. Da boy.
Yeah, like I said, I'm good with medium, other than cutting out the relatives portion.
Let's stealth edit this.
Yeah, I
while
mean, if
Crane
you
is
just
here.
add,
Remove above the age of
well, I
70.
mean, people on city council really shouldn't be holding
is
private
that you, Kermit?
business employment separate from their job anyway, right?
Okay,
No.
it's Max. All right.
So, I mean, we just get rid of the categories and just make it so that, you know, you just disclose investments and you agree. I mean,
Oh, the reason why I have this employed or
Seems fair.
consult for,
Scheming.
for me as an attorney, I may still consult with people, or I may still be an attorney for people on like one-off cases, right? And I mean, is that something that we feel that I, as a lawyer on this council, should have to disclose? That sometimes people come to me, these XYZ come to me for advice on various legal matters, or is that not relevant to our work here before the council?
I think there's a difference between one-offs and an ongoing relationship, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said, yeah, entities that you consult for. I mean, that would be an ongoing thing, in my opinion.
Well, I think it's impossible to qualify, right? Like, so for example, the reason why it's bad to be employed somewhere is because you have an ongoing, confirmed, formal allegiance via contract. Same with like a retainer, same with being employed as a, business associate somewhere or an investment partner. But if you happen to consult for someone along the way, I don't know how you could control that as well. I don't know.
2 applicable statutory punishments for targeted violence against individuals, groups, or
Yeah,
businesses.
disclosures are tricky because, like you said, a lot of us have been around here for a very long time. We know a lot of people. Myself, I really don't have any issue with saying, okay, yeah, I can throw in my 2 cents on this, but y'all should probably know that, I've known this person for blah, 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 blah. We've been friends for a very long time. Or,
I like this.
I'm interested in, investing in this business that, may be coming forward, blah, 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 blah. So, hey, my brother is wanting to open this business, So I'm going to sit back and just chill on this one.
1 year?
I mean, do we want to just vote in light disclosures then? We could chew on this a little bit more, and if we get into gray areas in the future, maybe we could amend the ethical disclosures legislation.
It's fine with me.
Yeah,
Sure.
I have no issues with just easing into things. Baby
I actually
steps.
am drinking
All right, well then
coffee right
we'll
now.
ask for a vote just on light disclosures, ethical disclosures right now.
Any nays? Any nays? Sick.
All right. We're all
All right.
yayers today. All right.
I know, yeah.
That's all I
This is
got.
what
So far.
started last time too. So,
Philippa, you said you had something?
no, I don't honestly. I've been too sick, so I'm just here to vote on things this time around.
Well, I got an announcement.
Yep.
Just to get it out of the way. So y'all may notice as you're walking around or driving around the city, you may see new PD cars. Those have not been purchased for them by the state. They are not in full active use. What it is that a manufacturer has collaborated with PD to allow for test driving so that they can, improve their engineering. It's kind of like a partnership. There's no money changing hands there. It's just PD are volunteering their time and the manufacturer's getting information. What has happened is that Mosley's has taken in a stock from the same manufacturer of the basic models, the CVPI and the Vapid. And those 2 models are now available for purchase at Mosley's. So if individual officers save up enough money, they can purchase their own police vehicles and then
Neat.
upgrade them as they see fit.
Are those only purchasable by police?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
So just so there's no confusion, there's no
Trash White, thanks for subbing.
government
dude.
stipends being handed out
Matt,
on the
Cal, thanks for
table or
subbing.
anything. It will still need to go, as we discussed, either through personal expenditures by PD or an approved budgetary expenditure by us, which we have not approved as of yet.
Correct.
Act of torture.
That's it.
I do have something I want to bring forward.
Mhm.
Is it
I don't know.
the Ego Act?
It is the Eco
This
Act.
shit looks good, dog.
It is a. Do you know what the Rust Act is? I'm assuming most people know what the Rust Act was.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
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 very
I remember
familiar.
that.
Very
Yeah.
familiar.
Not
Very
me.
familiar.
Not
I
you.
Well, so just for reminders, is this basically serial assault and killings but expanded to?
No.
It is
Or-
basically
Targeted, right?
It is targeted harassment towards the same people, businesses, and in that
Groups.
general groups. Yes.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing this forward is because currently what is happening at Mosey's is that nobody wants to work there because they are being targeted for something that had nothing to do with.
Yep.
So I figured bringing back the Rust Act with a different name would be a good call because of that. Currently, people are being targeted at Mosey's because of something that is going on between somebody that works for Mosey's and another entity or another group.
Mhm.
And it has nothing to do with the people there, basically. But they're just being caught in the middle.
Yeah, I was actually almost stabbed the other night because of this bullshit. So I am.
Here they
all for
removed
it.
Jabasted.
I'm for it in general. My question is one of the
McPumpkin, thanks for subbing.
the pitfalls we had of the last version of the Rust Act is gang member or alleged gang member works at X civilian business or just happens to be there at the time, and the claim was always like, oh, we're not going after the business, we're targeting this particular gang member or this particular criminal group who just happens to be there at the time. Is that still going to be an issue under this, or are we saying like doesn't matter, you targeted them at the business, you're getting
I would
things
say
for
it doesn't
that?
matter.
Okay.
Well,
Because you
in
have
order
three-
in order to remove that kind of like squirreling, we could get rid of the premeditation being a requirement.
Yes, and it also means that you do
Yeah.
it 3 times in a month at the same place. If you manage to do that 3
Yeah.
times, I feel like you as a person should rethink how you go about handling your shit.
Agreed.
Yeah, like that is. Yeah.
Yeah, if we can
I
deter
agree.
people from attacking civilian businesses, that would be fantastic. And I
Yeah.
think
If
it's
you
a
want to
good
go
way start
after
doing that.
somebody, don't just wait for them outside of their job.
So how do
go
we prevent?
find them.
Hold on. How do we prevent gangs from making civilian businesses their base of operations?
Well, I mean,
I have an idea.
we don't let criminals run.
They don't have to run it.
Businesses.
They can just hang out there.
They can work there or hang out. Yeah.
Young prep. Oh,
Mhm.
but they could also hang out at the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why aren't they
happened
doing
before.
that?
Oh, they used to.
Yeah, funny you ask.
Yeah, that has
Oh,
happened.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I'll say without dwelling too much on the past, the Rust Act was incredibly difficult because the allegation was that the people who were quote unquote defending the place of business were
Yeah.
alleged to be civilians, and the people who were attacking the place of business were alleged to be gang members. So the way that it worked was that we could only ever charge the people who attacked the business. And that's fair if indeed the people defending are civilians and the people attacking are gang members. The problem is that we run into a situation where, as already brought up here today, if the people defending the business act like gang members but do so under the guise of, being civilians standing their ground,
Yeah.
how do we parse that out?
I don't know if this is going to be a topic either at like this meeting or a future meeting, but my question to the mayor's office would be, could there be a system in place down the line where you could revoke a business license if it is basically just being used as a front?
I think there should be something like that.
There will
I
be.
agree.
Yeah,
There
right.
will be. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah. Are we gonna touch on businesses at all today?
That's the purview of the
No.
mayor's office. I'm gonna handle it. Everything will be put up for review, just as a courtesy to you guys.
Okay. Fantastic.
What
I keep getting lots of questions. That's why I asked. So.
Yeah,
As
tell
far
them
as-
to come to me, and then I'll tell them
Will
to fuck
do.
off.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
As far as ego act, I mean, I'm fine with getting something on the books. I think the intention of it is very good, and then you know, we could cross bridges as we come up with them, or
Yeah.
our,
Yeah,
our
exactly.
predecessors.
It's
If
I
it-
kind of left.
Sorry,
Go on.
no, you go on.
I was gonna say I kind of left it as it is because we can always reword it, and I didn't put any times or fines down because we can always discuss that. It was just to bring it on to like bring it forward and on the tables.
Thank you,
so-
Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should
Here
definitely.
you go. Here's some burgers.
Thank you.
Here's a ton of water.
If you
Thank
want to
you.
even take a look at the chart, or can you look at charges in your MDT? You should be able
Here's some
to, right?
fries.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you want to just cross-reference it even a little bit with gang-related shooting,
Is it?
kind of parse out
Oh,
where you
here-
think
here's
the
some E. cola.
crossover might be. I don't know if that'll help or not, but it is
And-
in there at least.
Here's some glizzies to finish it off.
All right, I'll pay you back after this.
But don't worry about it, Mr. Thurbet.
As far as gangs using these places as kind of like a impromptu safe haven or whatever, we could beef up loitering fines and shit. If it doesn't seem like they're actually working there.
Do we have loitering?
I don't know. Do we?
No.
No.
That
No.
was taken out. Yeah, that was.
Loitering was
rumored in
removed by
the past.
popular vote in the.
Yep. So when it comes to this, obviously you've offered Mosley's as a situation where this is happening, but
Yes. Also,
just so are people actually being arrested for these things? Like, are there? Like, is this happening? Is there anyone that actually could be charged with this right now?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
them
Yes.
actually
Yes.
getting
I'm
arrested
not gonna
is
put
different.
names out there, but there's definitely current issues where people are being harassed for things that they have nothing to do with, and it is specifically at Mosley's. But I feel like Senior Buns could also be another place of
Mhm.
interest
Mhm.
for something like this. They do have Fuck You Fridays, which apparently kind of rubs people the wrong way sometimes.
I hate that that's a thing.
I get
Well, that
that.
would be perfect with this because it's all about fucking ego, and this is called the Ego Act.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, a civilian group could be customers of Senior Buns, and you could charge the workers with this, maybe, if you really wanted to.
It is very, it's very strong. So I guess I want to feel out if it's truly necessary.
Well,
Just-
I
It's
mean, like
strong
if
because
you
it
have
should-
the same people being arrested for, attacking Senior Buns employees, if it's constantly happening, which I know for a fact, I have seen the same people either being attacked or attacking at Senior Buns and getting taken down just as EMS. So, the ones that I don't even get calls to, I can't even imagine. But I mean, like, if they're doing this multiple times in like a week or even a month, like, they need to
Yeah,
be.
it's on them at that point. If it's that
Yeah, they need
frequent,
to be
that's fair,
smacked
yeah.
down because, stop acting like a fucking animal. Please.
Fuck it, all right.
The only thing I would ask, and I don't even know if this is an issue or not, and I might ask, Chief Justice yourself, would we want to keep the term targeted violence in there, or is there a way to make it more specific?
That's the same thing as premeditated.
Okay.
Proving targeting is mens rea. You're proving a thought process. You can do it constructively by saying, they drove a fucking oil tanker directly into Mosley's or flew a plane into the building.
They did do that, by the way.
I was using examples from the past, but
Yeah, I was there for that.
but yeah, you could prove it constructively or directly, but most of the time you're going to be arguing their state of mind, which again limits you in how you can prosecute.
Got it.
You could make it easier and just say, like, if they're caught on the property 3 times for doing something dumb.
That could get a little bit.
Messy?
Yeah, I was I was thinking more like a violent felony or.
Yeah, what if instead of targeted violence, we say felonious violence or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's more
actually,
where I
that
was
would be
coming
good.
towards.
Yeah.
So I think one thing that might be good to utilize here is twofold. One, we make the definition as general as possible. So get rid of terms like targeted, things like that, right? the idea of the discernible pattern or purpose, get rid of that. Okay, just make it a strict liability.
What the
If
fuck?
3 attacks happen against a civilian, individual, group, or business in the period of 30 days, and then make it what is known as an indiscriminate or a indefinite sentencing crime. So it's not held until trial, but in the MDT, the penal code will appear as zeros for the time and fine. And what that means is that it just has to go in front of a judge. So this way, if let's say it's Bobby Charles and someone else attacking Mayor Max over and over, those guys are knuckleheads. We're not gonna send them to jail for, you know, a year and fucking 100 grand because they keep, you know, kicking Max in the shins or whatever, right? However, if, like, let's say it's, and I'm just gonna pick someone, Juno Sweeney flying airplanes into the lumber mill every day,
Fuck
you
yeah.
know, that might be something that requires a bit heavier hand. And it will also allow lawyers the chance to argue, you know, not just the crime, because the crime is pretty straightforward, right? If they get charged with it, they did it the 3 times in 30 days, it'll allow lawyers to target more so of how the punishment should work, which is generally more positive for everyone because there's less hinging on a binary result, and there's more ability for a lawyer to return a result for a client that's not just you win or you lose. Those would be my thoughts. And I think that way we can implement what Mr. Deputy Mayor has suggested without us having to get bogged down in the language. Just make it as simple as possible and let the judges and the lawyers figure it out in the courtroom.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Do we want to fix it now so that we can pass it?
I can delete the specific language, and then y'all can give it a look over and see what you think.
Yes,
Excellent.
please.
Bump, ba-na-na-na, bump, 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 bum, bum, ba-da-da-da, bum, 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 bum. We'll wait for him to do that. How long do you think that's going to take you, Crane?
2 or 3 minutes. You can talk about whatever.
Okay. Well, we'll wait before we go on. Any exciting news from anyone?
There's a restock at Mosley's.
Max and Siobhan got married. Congrats.
By
Oh,
Crane.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
That's amazing.
Do they have maces in
Shit.
stock?
What's a mace?
Mesa.
Mesa?
Mace.
The vehicle.
Those are cool. That's a good one.
I really want that.
They have a Premier, a Dominator, a Gauntlet, a Buffalo STX FQ2, a Rocotto, a Buffalo again, and a Sultan, and Penumbra. And that's about it.
Anyone need food or water?
I don't need food or water, but you know
No,
what
I'm
I
good.
do need? I am officially accepting donations of money. Just putting it out there. Just officially accepting money donations.
For what?
Everything I have is in Ron. What for?
I want to buy a house.
Thanks, dog.
Oh, so do I.
Nice. Me too.
Really?
I think everybody.
Everyone here does.
Oh, it'd be
Yeah.
crazy if, like, I don't know, someone like Michael
What?
would also buy a house with me. You know, that'd be crazy, right, Michael?
That'd be crazy, but they don't
that'd
already
be
have a
crazy.
house,
Crazy.
you know.
Oh my god.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, my brother and I are going in on a house together. So.
Yeah,
I have news. I hit 50 stars in sanitation.
Good job.
Wow.
Crazy,
congrats.
right? Yep.
Toes is begging for people to do it with. He called me in the yellow pages.
called me
If
too,
you ever
fuck
need a
Toes.
new one. Yeah.
What if we got a secret government employee safe house?
Oh my god.
Oh, that's cool.
Just for us.
Sure, fuck it.
Adam, do you want me to put that in the notes?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's expensive.
Wasn't that like my idea?
It was
Did I mention
that was Juno's idea.
There is no way. No.
Do
So,
we anticipate needing that for some reason? or-
just,
Well,
to,
it might-
just to give y'all a
I mean,
heads
look,
up,
when we
you know,
start rejecting people for like businesses or whatever, for whatever reason, or other things, or
Food
laws
pellets,
that are,
advocates.
or like legislations that are directly against them, like the one that Michael just brought up, then yeah, we're gonna get fucking targeted tenfold.
well, yeah. I mean,
If you guys are ready to review, it's edited.
Okay.
I'd like to stop waking up at the apartments.
That's fair.
Same.
I don't want to get
Yeah.
yoinked as I'm walking
sleep in
downstairs.
the hospital.
Just do what I do. Wake
Yeah,
up at
it's
your
terrible.
house.
It's not your fucking house,
say it,
bitch.
Kermit.
What the hell?
It's not in your name.
What the
Or do what
hell?
I do, sleep with the cop and just
Kermit, stop being a
get a
distraction.
PD escort every
What?
morning.
Okay, so
Wow.
essentially, action creates 2 applicable statutory punishments for violence against individual groups or businesses. Statutory punishments seek to curb rampant abuse. So, second degree, individual commits 3 separate acts of felonious violence against a civilian, individual, group, or business within a period of 30 days. They're subject to prosecution of the EGO Act. First degree targeted violence if an individual commits 5 separate acts, blah, blah, blah. They will be held until trial while waiting prosecution of the EGO Act, and then punishments for these charges will be determined in court under argumentation by attorneys. There will be indiscriminate sentencing under the penal code.
Perfect.
I like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Extremely
Okay.
simple. It
Yeah, that's
means that
good.
people know
Mhm.
not to fuck around and target the same person and resolve their differences. If they don't, what I will say, the only thing that is difficult here is we will be tasked, especially in the early days of the city, with determining who is a civilian. And the reason I say that is
Yes.
because there are many people who have been arrested for violent felonies or possession of PD equipment, PD handguns, who have been involved in various scenes, who right now are working civilian jobs and some even government jobs. So it will be hard at first for us to separate the difference between what is now the EGO Act and what eventually will be like gang-related shootings.
Yeah, I actually. So, at least from, if I'm corrected, I'd be happy to be. But many, many years ago, as far as I was aware, anyone who wasn't a law enforcement officer or an active military member was a civilian, and it didn't matter how many felonies they had on their record.
So, and what I will tell you is, this was what I wanted to do with the Rust Act. And one of the things that I joked about, I don't know if Malton was around for that discussion at the time, is that gangs were about to fuck around and find out. Because if 2 gangs, under the current wording of this law, get into a conflict, then 3 separate acts of felonious violence is going to stack up really quick.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
talked about just doing Rust Act instead of gang-related shooting if we got sick of it.
Maybe we should.
Yeah.
I won't be
Hell,
mad about that.
What that means is, if we do this, and I'm just telling you guys now, what this means is that if Gang A and Gang B go against each other repeatedly, it
Great, Connor.
means
Thanks for subbing.
that by the 5th point of conflict, you might have, and I'm just going to throw out a random number here, 12 people all on hold.
Well, I mean, that's
Mhm.
better than them being like, this is actually perfect. This
Yeah.
is honestly such a good fucking thing
Yeah,
because
maybe
at
they
least
could
they
actually
won't be.
resolve
Hang
their
on, hang on. At
differences
least they
then.
won't be on the. At least they won't be on the fucking streets putting other
Yeah.
people at
Listen,
risk.
hey, I'm all for
You're
it.
for it, yeah. Like
I'm just telling
Yeah,
you the
no,
kind of
they-
blowback to prepare for.
Yeah, they can
I
go
don't
fuck
care
themselves
about blowback, so
the blowback that
Yeah.
we'll receive is nothing in comparison to random civilians who are just going about their
I
day having their
refuse to
fucking
go
day ruined.
back. Refuse to go back to the days where it's just constant gang on
Hey,
gang.
I sleep in the courthouse. All right, I'm just telling you, I protect my own neck. So
Yeah, no,
I-
I would, suggest that maybe 12 people who are shooting each other in the middle of the street 5 separate times might have larger things they need to reflect on than whether or not they're going away for a long
Yeah.
period of time.
all right,
That's
sounds
what
good to me.
a lot of this stuff really needs to make people stop and think before they just result to violence. Like I refuse to let that happen. We haven't even been back here for 2 months. Like there's no way.
Can
I'm all for it.
share an idea which would be good in terms of this as well? After I'm assuming everyone's going to vote yay for this rather than nay. But Max, you know how you put up state announcements after the fact? I really, really, really want to push for a fucking press conference. I really want to push for one because there's other things as well that Nakoda, I'd like to talk to you
I
about.
forget what the
specifically.
plugin is that has
Things
these
that I've heard about
yellow
PD,
borders.
and I'd like to talk to Slacks about it as well, and have the PD have an opportunity to share their quote unquote side of the story of the things that have happened recently. That
Wait, what do you mean? Hear things about PD?
Aggression
Yeah.
timer.
What things?
So I spoke to a couple people
Nice.
in terms of the whole Murphy Braun stuff that happened, along with the Mr. Case situation as well, and it's definitely put a really sour taste in people's mouths about how the police department conducted themselves, and what reason they even had for being able to push both those things.
That sounds like we should go to Malton,
Ooh.
right?
Wait.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
a DOJ issue, no? Because
That's
those
the head of the
charges were.
bar.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
oversight
I
Almost
was,
high Elks my
I
kite
was
shield,
more
guys.
thinking that like the press
Mamma mia.
conference would be good for the police department to actually. So my
Slayer
whole
level?
thing, I want to avoid miscommunication. I want to avoid the lack of communication.
64.
And most importantly, what I want is the police department, at least someone, a recognized individual from the police department, to actually be present at a press conference and share important details like this. Because then at least, even though, yeah, people will 100% nitpick everything the police department will say, but at least it'll be communicated. At least an effort is being made rather than, no, we don't want to talk to anyone about this. Because at that point, the bridge is already burning. Why add more fuel to the fire? At least you can try and stagger it, if anything. At least you're attempting to communicate with the public, which is incredibly important, in my opinion. Like, you need
Oops.
to, people should be communicated to. So, with the press conference, with us sharing the things that we've done, beyond just the state announcements, in which we can go into more detail and potentially answer questions that are selected by, let's say, Ursula, from the crowd, then that's great. That's amazing. I'd love that. But then also having the police department then do a press
Min-max
conference shortly
harder?
after that. And this isn't just for the police department. If
Look at my
there's something
streak,
going on with
41,
the medical
baby.
board, then that too, and that would be obviously be more of a future thing, if anything does arise from the medical board.
As long as it's like a I don't want to say limited, because, well, maybe restricted to just the press then, because like I'm not trying to have people be lambasted by the public either, like
Well,
the
then,
town halls
at that
of old.
point,
'cause
at that
that's
point,
just-
we might as well just contact Ursula to write a report. I mean, yeah, sure, there's going to be situations
Not
in which
Joe-based.
people, no matter what, some people are going to fuck around, but they're going to find out. If they want to disrupt something, they're going to get arrested, because if the police department are there, then
Pulls
the
out
majority
phone
of the
in
police
character.
officers are also going to be there. Sorry, when I meant police department, if an officer's going to be there advocating
Slayer level
on behalf
65,
of
baby.
their officers, their colleagues, whatever, then the police department are going to be, they're going to be there. That's with any event. But if we went with that, Edda, we might as well just write something up and put it on Twitter, which I don't think is going to be as effective as a press conference in person. I don't think this is something
well,
that
a
we should...
recorded press conference with, just press. I mean, that is still,
But I want people there. I want people to be able to be there and feel like they are being communicated to,
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I just want to understand this better. So are you inviting PD to talk to the public, or are you dictating? What's the...
I'd like to suggest that I can't obviously force anyone to do anything, but I think it's I would strongly advise the police, at least one officer, be at a press conference to talk about the things that have recently happened, because it's all over on the streets. I'm hearing one perspective of it. I think it's important for the public to hear another perspective.
Concern I would have is, what if they're still in the midst of, let's say, like, for example, if I'm in the DOJ,
like town hall RP
I'm in the
with
same
random
boat
citizens yelling at the
right?
council about their stupid
Like,
grievances
for
would be
example,
funny
the
as
thing with Murphy.
as F.
There are a ton of discussions and things happening right now within the DOJ related to Murphy's
Agreed.
case.
The thing is
that
not a lot of
while
people
the
show up
public
to
may
that.
feel a certain way.
That's why I don't
there's
necessarily
no way
support
that
the
I
press
could,
conference,
in
because
good
there'll be
faith,
like
engage
two
with the
people
public,
or whatever.
because
So
it would effectively malign what is being worked on.
right.
And so then I'd be put in a position where either I just say
Brimstone
nothing
key.
and look like, an asshole, or I say we're doing the best we can, but I can't discuss it with you, which makes me look like even more of an asshole. I mean, it's kind of a lose-lose for the PD or the DOJ in that sense.
Then they would talk about the things that they can talk about. So, though they cannot talk about the Murphy case because it's been
GZ on 94, dude. Wait, why is he moving?
Talk about it within the DOJ, which is obviously private information. Then maybe talking about the Mr. Case situation. something
What
along
situation
those
is
lines.
that?
Does anyone in my group Iron Man still play?
In
Nope.
which so this is from his point of view, like he was found like with a weapon, and while he was incapacitated on the ground, he claimed that it had been planted on him, and then he was let go,
Not backing
and he
Juno.
was in the cells with a he was in the cells
Ooh, Soul Road.
representing someone, I believe, and during that
Is it like a legal aid?
yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
And then he got locked down. I mean, regardless, he was locked down there anyway. But all the doors around him got locked, and a warrant was pushed, knowing that he was there in the police department. And
So he walked into the police department with an active warrant?
no. He walked into a police department without a warrant, and then the warrant went active while he was present there. I'm sure there's more to this story. And
there absolutely
is.
1,000,000% is.
There is. I mean, look, as far as the topic at hand, if we as the council want to do a press conference after, I don't have an issue with that. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
I've already talked to the captains about, their kind of street cred, shall we say. Like, there's nothing stopping them from doing a press conference on their own time if they so choose.
I think this is obviously coming from a place of care, because it is. I wouldn't say it's personal. However, there are obviously feelings. Since I used to be a police officer, though we're in a completely different situation now, it still arises these feelings. So, on my own time, I want to talk to Captain Slacks and hear things from his point of view. And Nakoda, Molten, if you'd like to be there, I'd like that to happen. I want to try and meet with him after this meeting.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to talk to you after, just so I can get a full purview of what's being referenced and what's being said, so I can clarify anything.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say bluntly, I don't think we should be leveraging press conferences based on rumors.
Yeah, it was like I said, my whole intention was more of a communication rather than anything else.
Yeah, that should happen. That should happen privately between people, so we can establish what the situation actually is. And then, if a press conference needs to be held once there's mutual understanding, then that's more of a prepared statement, right? As opposed to just kind of. Because effectively, if we were to hold a press conference and then invite the police to speak on some of these matters, if I was a civilian and I saw that, my perception would be that the city council called out the police department. And I think that's a pretty drastic step.
Okay, so then let's move on from that. How do you guys feel about a press conference after today's meeting? Not today specifically, but perhaps Tuesday? From us as the council.
I think press conference is a good idea.
Yeah.
I got super busy with some other things after the last meeting. In the future, what has been agreed upon is that DOJ announcements will go out on the government email server. That will have all of the things that are voted on at each meeting and approved and put into legislation, so that people know, as well as the state announcements. We now have the state announcements section in the MDT, so we can memorialize the announcement of the announcement.
Okay.
As far as Ego Act, just to make sure, were there any nayers on that one?
Negative.
I don't think so. After it was changed.
Nay, there were no nays.
Okay, I'll put that one in as well.
Did he say ego or eagle?
Ego.
Ego. E-G-O.
Okay, thank you.
Not a bad name, honestly.
Yeah, it's very good.
What's next?
Does anyone else have anything before I go present what I want to present?
Yes.
Please, Mr. Nakoda.
If you will pull up report 1639, I have several changes to active charges within the MDT that I feel need to be updated. Okay, I will. I'll get into the nitty-gritty of what I have to say. At least there have been now. Let me double check my notes. 16 separate incidences in the last 30 days involving officers
dagger.
being stabbed, shot, and robbed in one capacity or another. As I'm sure a lot of you are not surprised, a lot of these instances involve our firearms being robbed from us. Several people have been recovered with them. I think we've had 3 recovered in the last week. We had a 24-hour period where 4 separate officers were shot. In one of these instances, officers were responding to a call. They saw someone who was repairing a vehicle. They went to help that individual, and then they were open fired upon and then robbed of their firearms. People do not really seem to care about the active time and fine as far as either robbing us, shooting us, stealing our equipment, or getting caught with it, apparently. Because as Crane said, we've had people who have already multiple time offenders of PD firearms. Obviously, there's kidnapping charges on there, which I also think are important and egregiously low for the charge. But I have increased what I believe needs to be upped as far as time and fine for some of those charges, because people seem to either not understand or don't care. And I, as someone who is out on the street every day and responding to these calls of people being stabbed, shot, and robbed who are already officers, I think they need to be increased.
Agreed.
I'm just gonna ask straight up because I mean, Dakota, you know how this is gonna go. Are the police prepared to get shot and stabbed even more so over these charges, including getting these people into custody to begin with?
Yes.
I guess they got to do it anyway. So
We're already averaging
well
one
try to
shooting
dissuade
or
it.
robbing every other day.
I cannot fathom why act of torture right now is only $2,000 fucking dollars.
Because it's related
figured.
to every. Okay, hold on.
Raised
It's
too?
proportional to everything else.
Correct.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
right now, for example, people make a certain income rate. So the charges were adjusted based around the economy.
Right.
The overall, right, where we ended, 5 years ago or so, those charges were across the board cut by about 40%.
I'm freaking poning, dude.
But for example, it is often important, and as a cop, I mean, I think you know this, when you arrest someone, it is not usually for one crime. So looking at it in a vacuum can be problematic. So for example, if there's kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, active torture, reckless evading when they're apprehended, resisting arrest, other illegal possessions, maybe joyriding, whatever, we start getting up there. And so we need to figure out, what's the appropriate amount, not only for each charge, but for like a scenario. So while I'm not averse to increasing crimes that are
I don't know how to change the color.
Popular is a bad word, but that's what I'm going to go with.
Frequent.
In the moment,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're not just looking at things in a vacuum.
Yeah.
So, for example, right now, prison break is $2,400. Well, if active torture is $2,000, prison break might need to be like, the way we scale things affects everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
I understand.
Understand, yeah.
So right now, disobeying a peace officer is $240. Obstruction of justice is $400. So it just, it's
RP friends where?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not weighing in exactly on one crime or another, or what's a good decision or a bad decision. I'm just providing, I think, a way of thinking about it.
Pick up the runes?
Are
It's just fire runes, dude.
the individuals who you're catching with like this government equipment, is it still the like in the past where people would have their kits robbed? Like are you all getting raids off of this?
I believe there have been some raids conducted, but I haven't been at them, so I can't really speak to them in great depth.
You know
but
if those raids have been like successful in actually recovering stuff?
I do not know off the top of my head.
Prison break shouldn't be punished. Shooting for freedom is human nature. Nice, dude. I'm fine with all these, dog.
I'm fine with all that. I'm curious, what's the reason for making evidence tampering? Who threw that in?
Yeah,
Like, what's the
I threw
that
that in there, and because
okay.
if someone who is evidence tampering, like a lawyer, for example, or a cop, I think they should lose their fucking job because they're jeopardizing
hard
the
agree.
freedom
Yes,
of other
I
people.
Yeah, agreed.
It actually
100%
should have been
agree.
a felony. I don't know why it's not. That's an oversight.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I
think
didn't look at that one.
I
Mr.
think
Mayor.
it was a felony in the past. It may have even been an indiscriminate sentencing felony. So I think something got lost in translation with the new MDT.
Yeah, and this'll you know how what was the Brady shit? Okay, we don't need Brady shit. We just need to make evidence tampering a felony. Boom.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll change that
yeah.
right now.
In case anyone's also curious, in the last 15 minutes, we've had 3 more officers go down while we've been in here. So
now were they robbed when they went down?
I cannot speak to that. I can only speak to that they went down.
The only thing I'm going to say, Dakota, and I know this isn't the response you're looking for, but I would submit to you that given that there is no other way of acquiring a firearm in the city right now, that I could make this charge 10 years and $1 million, and people would still do it. So
let them do it,
at
dog.
some point, I'm just saying, at some point, we need to think about: are we actually deterring behavior? What are we? What's the effect?
Yeah, I 100% get what you're saying. I would like to see someone with the charge as I've suggested it get charged, and then see what happens from there. I know that not necessarily, it's not everyone's gonna be deterred from doing things like that, but
it's going to make a lot more stop and think twice before they do it.
It's going to set, so nonetheless, the thing is that people at the end of the day want to get their hands on the guns, and that's the only way so far is to go through PD. Having it higher fine is going to set them back more, and it might make them think twice, or some of them at least, but some people will always go for it, even if it's 50, 100 grand, whatever, they will still do it.
Well, then they better be
Because
prepared to tank the fine.
Yes, but that's the thing. Gun will always beat knife, and that's the mentality they have. Is that they have the highest form of, any sort of weapon, whatever you want to call it.
It puts you in a very advantageous position. If you have a firearm.
And I'm just gonna say right now, without getting too deep into things, my personal belief is that I don't think there's any issue with the way the laws and the charges and the precedents have worked. I think it's extremely unfortunate that Murphy Braun suffered amnesia after being shot and was drinking the night before, and that's a catastrophic set of circumstances.
He left.
Yeah.
But I do think that in general, possession of those government-issued firearms needs to be a strict liability crime. Otherwise, there's no teeth to the law, and it's impossible to enforce.
Exactly.
Okay. So, anybody against any of these?
Nope.
Not at all.
All right. So approved.
Fuck yeah.
We just do 1 year and 100K.
Absolutely.
We're gonna do 60. We might as well just
Yes.
in for a penny
Well,
for a pound, right?
That's
Sure.
the one I think should be the highest here.
People like
Yes.
big
That
numbers.
one, yes, absolutely.
Alright,
Charges getting a year and $60,000 for the notes.
The possession of the government weapon.
Is that it's a year and 60,000?
A year and 100,000.
Okay.
What do you think about giving people like Kermie here access to see the stuff, Crane?
I don't agree with that. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. I don't even want the temptation. Well, it's not that I won't do anything, but I don't even want the temptation of being able to see shit.
Okay, well, counterpoint.
I'm on it.
Counterpoint. You are hearing everything that is being written right now, so
Yeah.
you are already a liability by that definition.
I
Damn
don't
it.
even know what charges you guys are talking about.
Fuck. Oh God.
That's true. Yeah.
Look, I don't have a
Mhm.
problem because I think I trust the people that Alex hires as clerks. So if they are officially employed with the government, then I don't have a problem with them seeing it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
This will help note keeping a lot.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I have my own role on the NBT?
No, it's just
Bitch,
going to be
no.
clerk.
Oh,
just under
thank you.
clerk.
Okay, okay. I thought. Sorry,
Alex has her own role though.
Thank
'cause
you,
she's
Alex.
What about
Thank you.
Siobhan?
She's
I'm
the
laying
chief-
the framework for asking
well, he
for
said
Siobhan to be
Kermie,
able
so
to
I
do
didn't
it.
know we were talking about every clerk. I was just saying.
Well, both of you are.
She's a
clerks,
government employee.
so-
So it works out.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
I agree,
just-
Mr. Mayor. I think that's a good idea.
Nice. Sick.
Anybody disagree with that?
No, it's
Nope.
fine.
It's a government employee, right?
Exactly. Yep.
As
long as they're held to the same
I would not
standard.
extend that to let's walk that back a second.
It doesn't need to be
I would
everyone's
not extend
government
that
employee.
to EMS doctors or PD.
No, that's fine. Yeah, they
I
they
mean
don't need to
government
see
employee in
it.
terms of on the
Oop.
legislative or
Siobhan's a
administrative
lawyer
side,
and technically a government employee.
because those are the people that'll be involved with this shit anyway.
Right.
If I may add, this is strictly for the notes. If somebody is charged with possessing a PD gun, it's the year 100K. I get that. Is it more so like
Yeah, she's
there's
my
no
legislative
arguing
aide,
it,
so.
or can they still argue like any other charge?
You would need to provide. So, and I'm gonna say this pretty plainly. I don't think if you get to court possessing a PD gun as your charge, you would have to provide an affirmative defense whereby you could prove or argue beyond a reasonable doubt that it was how do I phrase this?
Rami's 100% gonna fuck with the MDT.
Maybe not beyond a reasonable
It's not
doubt.
gonna.
It's
It's not gonna.
in my mind,
They're gonna be
there would
approved
need to be a
individually,
preponderance
so it's not just gonna be like a
that
thing
your
that happens for
affirmative
everybody.
defense carries more weight than the null hypothesis, right? Which is you just had it. Okay.
Mhm.
And the only way to do that would be to provide alibi evidence or corroborating witness statements that could prove or lean towards proving that it was planted on you, things like that. In my mind, the discretionary portion of this charge comes down to the PD. So if the PD stumble upon, someone sprawled out on the ground who is otherwise
Rap battle insofar versus whereby.
not involved in conflict in any way or whatever,
Epic.
then that's their
Cornelis, thanks
discretion
for
to
subbing.
charge someone or not. But as I said before, if the judiciary starts trying to get into this habit of adjudicating the idea of the charge outside of evidence to the contrary, then it's a lot of guesswork.
Yeah.
And I don't think it serves the city
Cornell
because
thinks
then the
they're 10
deterrent has
million
no
subs?
teeth, because anyone can just, throw their hands up.
You always skip my sub. Botter, thanks for subbing. Sorry, man. Thereupon here forth.
Okay, so I'll put those in. What else we got?
My last one, and I don't know if this is. I potentially thought I heard this was in the works, but do we want to make a hard ruling on how many points results in a suspended license?
I heard it was 20.
Yeah, it's always been 20.
I don't believe it's like actually on the books.
Yeah,
though.
it's not listed anywhere though.
So a DUI is
I've heard
20
people
points.
talk about that. Where
Yeah, DUI is 20 points and an automatic suspension. So I figured 20 was the appropriate number.
Is there a hard programmed timer for points to fall off?
Yes.
20 is fine.
It was like every 30 days, right? Or 21 days or something like that.
The
So
clock
I-
runs from each incident.
I've
Right.
I guess this is a question for more. When the points fall off, if they fall below 20, will it automatically reinstate their license, or
Okay, so we do not remove people's driver's licenses formally from their profile. The reason
Okay,
being is that then if their points fall off and they should have a
Evil
reinstated
Zookeeper,
driver's
thanks for subbing.
license, they are then, needing to basically get a clerk or a judge to reinstate it. And then there's often arguments between them and police about, well, the points fell off, I just couldn't find a judge, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So the agreement we made with PD is that we don't formally remove licenses. We just put a note on someone's profile that it's suspended per 20 points. And then that note should be removed when it falls below 20 points.
So is the onus on the person to make sure that it's removed once the points fall off, or?
Well, I mean, I would hope that an officer could look at someone's profile, see they have less than 20 points, and say,
16K
"Oh,
for
you're
a
good,"
motorcycle?
Yeah, yeah.
Was that 16 or 14? I'm taking damage.
Do we need? Is there? So that's not written anywhere.
Yeah, no.
No.
Okay, we could put that somewhere.
Do we
Use
want
legislation.
to? If anyone's over 20 right now, which I don't know if anyone actually is, are we going to retroactively, like, the next time that person gets pulled over, they're made aware that they're over 20, or are they grandfathered into this in some capacity?
I feel
don't
like
even know.
the next instance they should be notified, like, okay, this is it.
They get a freebie, and can the police like track that, like via their profile?
Stop burying your
or something
bones.
Like
I'm
that?
burying my bones because
Like,
I
they were
don't
notified on
want
this
to.
date, blah blah blah.
I don't want to go
Okay.
back,
Yeah.
so I may as well get the
That's
XP
fine.
for
I
it.
just wanted to put it out there for a discussion, so I'm not just, ripping people out of their vehicles.
Show my achievement diaries. I don't really have many achievements, guys. Kind of a freaking noob.
Kermie and Alex, if you reset your MDTs, tell me if you can see the city council documents. They're under reports, and you'll need to use the cogwheel to do like an advanced search and then sort by category. Anybody else got anything before we move to the density?
Not this time, no.
See the
Wasn't
titles,
there?
can't see them.
There was
Sorry.
one thing
You
is
can see the titles, but you can't see them.
Yeah, I can see the title, but I can't see the actual body of the report itself.
Yes,
That's
you
fucking
have to take it. No, he has to take a nap. They both
Oh,
have to take
okay,
a nap for
alright.
that.
Son
Yeah,
of
I had
bitch.
that yesterday.
I'll
So-
test it, BRB.
Panda Giggles, thanks for subbing.
Mask mandate. I'm not gonna bring it up again, but it is on the rise. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna share
Yeah.
a picture with y'all.
Yes, please,
Oh,
because I
yeah?
think we might be saying the same thing.
Hold on.
Just swat it out, Crane.
Let me.
Yeah.
Let me go to a document here.
How come I got more
Create
XP
a
for?
city council
Oh,
document.
I know why. It's happening again.
Should I just take a nap too then? I'm gonna go take a nap.
Slayer.
All right, if you look up the city council document, oh god, it's happening again. Or it's happening again, and then look at the piece of evidence called "Oh God, Make It Stop." That was me walking into Senor Buns today, and I saw two gentlemen wearing socks and sandals, short-cut, cuffed Euro pants. One had no shirt. They both had matching bandanas. One had a bright neon bowl cut, and the other was wearing a bucket hat, and they had face paint.
I think I saw those guys by the tennis courts in an alleyway off Boulevard del Perro 5 years ago.
So two
Oh,
trains of
no.
thoughts here. One, if we're not wanting to go full mask mandate, we could do something just for government buildings and state-run businesses. That's,
You guys see the evidence?
I see
Us-
it.
Yeah, I
I
can
could
see
see
it.
it.
I
that
cannot.
Way that way it's not
Can't.
everywhere, but
I
it's
had
just
to reset
in.
my MDT.
Yeah, if you have multiple
Oh,
tabs
reset
open
it.
to
Reset
Max,
it.
that sometimes it
I
happens.
see it. I see it. I see it.
Yeah. I just opened it in another tab.
Anyway, sorry. So you could do mask mandate light. You know, that way it's only for like government buildings and these state-run agencies to maybe try to get a message out or curb the problem a little bit. The second,
when you know who they are,
They just look like generic
yeah,
grinders.
The second, this is something that I used to do way back in the day. That you know, I'm sure Crane loved hearing about this. Is there was always the legal argument that we had that was RS, that they might be casing the joint to rob it, and we would, you know, ham them up a little bit. For doing that
maybe
kind of
we
stuff.
do a middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's in publicly accessible places of business and government facilities.
Okay.
Yeah, someone said that. Who
You
said
must
that?
remove your mask.
I
Yeah.
said state-run businesses and government facilities.
Yeah,
Goody
that's
chick
perfect.
nudes. Thanks for subbing.
Yeah, sorry, I was too
Yeah.
busy dooming about the picture.
No, that way, if a private business or, you know, a future business license that gets approved wants to have a different policy, I mean, that's their choice, right? But, you know, any business that's in the app or any government facility, you know, no mask mandate.
Can we make sure that this applies to employees of state-run businesses as well, that they cannot be wearing masks? So, for example, someone needs to get the door for Alex. So, for example, if someone's working senior buns, that's the state-run business. You, as an employee, you shouldn't be wearing a mask either.
Are we gonna bring up medical exceptions already, or is that
Oh,
okay?
people
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Our official thing is that our letters mean nothing. If the cops have the authority to do this, no matter what the medical need for a mask is, they still have that authority.
I also think that employees of these state-run businesses are do not have the privilege of allowing members of public or
unlocked
other
if you wanna go
employees at that state-run business to
Pants.
leave the mask on.
yeah, no, that's not their call.
Yeah.
They're not cops.
Go clocked in.
The only
Clocked in, the
thing.
door's open.
What if someone never ever
Yeah, we get
has
into
their
that
mask
bullshit.
off?
These fucking.
Julio.
I'm, you know.
Julio, Chatterbox. those are
Well,
always the
Reed
two
Reed can
frequent
take his
flyers.
mask off. Yeah,
He
Reed can take
can,
his
but
mask
he-
off.
Let's
He
make
He
them.
does,
Let's
but I
make
usually
them. Let's make
provide
them
it
pay
on,
for a
you know.
license, cuz.
Mask
I
license.
the mask.
I mean,
mask.
No.
That's
If
how
they
we get
will
mask
be-
license.
Every gang member.
Yeah, they will then want
$100,000.
a license.
They
No,
will
no,
gladly
yeah.
grind so they can fucking wear.
And then when they get arrested, you can take their mask off in the cells.
I would hope there's also a reasonable expectation that, you know, doctors would be able to wear masks within their place of employment. A lot of us wear the surgical masks.
100K
That's
for a
surgical
month.
mask.
Yeah, that's
a
sanitation.
different-
Yeah, sanitary
I
reasons.
mean, I would trust
Again, we should be relying on police to use discretion to be
discretion.
reasonable human beings.
Yes, and if anyone hears about people being stupid or abusing these things, just like the parking,
Yeah, then we
that
should
talked about
complain
last
to high
week,
command, not deal with it in legislation.
Hell yeah, alright.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
happy to complain to somebody else.
I went
not
down
me.
that road way too much in the past where I tried to fix every loophole. I'm done doing that shit. I'm too tired. What we're gonna do in terms of DOJ, at least y'all can do how you want, but on my side, I'm writing things vague in general, and if people abuse it, then I'm just gonna complain until they get fired. I don't care.
Hell
Sounds
yeah,
good.
alright.
Yeah.
So, I guess just to start, are we agreeing on state-run businesses and government facilities?
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Agreed.
didn't work.
What's my
Okay, and
WC
then
level?
My second question is,
What is WC?
if a cop walks
Wood
up to
cutting?
them, take the mask off, they take the mask off,
63?
it ends there, or do I have the right to go through the full, like, hey, you got to show me your ID even if the mask comes off?
My root
I would
crafting's almost
prefer
80.
they
dude.
give ID so you can actually verify via photo if it's on, you know, can ID. I mean, if someone tells me there's,
I don't think we should create an ID statute.
That's, yeah,
Personally.
see, I'm against
Yeah.
that part because the purpose of this is to have people not wear masks in
The purpose
public.
is just take your damn mask
Right.
off. But
Get
we're
a
not giving
99.
cops any rights to
No.
ID. It's not a crime. We're not giving someone rights to ID someone or frisk them. It's literally just, hey, stupid, take your mask off, which is what, coincidentally, I yell at people in courtrooms all the time.
But then
Okay,
what
so
do you
it
do
works
about the
pretty
face
well.
paint?
Call their parents degenerates and say that, you know, they're subhuman. I don't know.
You look fucking dumb. Yeah,
Fair.
Okay.
So-
Yeah,
Okay.
shame them.
So just to clarify, it's remove the mask and you're not putting it back on, not remove the mask, ID yourself, then put it
Yeah,
back
and
on.
if they take it off and they don't put it back on, or they take it off and they put it back on, then just cite them for disobeying and arrest them.
Understood.
Or if they don't take it off, disobeying.
You can
Easy.
enforce laws without needing a penal code entry. So you enforce the legislation that says no masks in public state-run areas, and if they disobey, then they disobey.
Easy.
Penis code.
I just want to be sure because I missed it. No mask mandate. Just they can lawfully order people to take them off. That's it.
For
Yeah, I'm gonna write it down right. I'm gonna do that one right now.
Okay. Also, Crane, it didn't work. Still can't see the report.
Try and close the tab and then open the new one.
Hold on, it might be permission.
Up your black mask is
It's
imbued.
viewing permission, I think.
It is.
Hold on. Oh, it didn't sync. Okay.
I had to do the desert
Somehow
PvP
it,
shit for that.
okay, hold on.
How many QP you got? 203 out of 301. Not bad. Is it a rare one?
Try now.
Ooh! Wait, that's
Reset it.
mine. This is my first one.
Nope.
Did
Wait, he
anything
can-
else break?
Oh,
Can you still
God.
see legislation?
Yeah, I can still see everything else. I just can't see the body of the report.
He has higher range.
Yeah, you can fuck with it after.
This is my first one. I've had this unlocked for so long, dude. Only certain creatures have superiors? Yeah, but I've fought ones that do have superiors. Everyone at the meeting die? I think they're waiting on Crane to fix this.
Try now. Reset. That's my last try. If that doesn't work, then I'll figure it out later.
Nope. Oh, it did work, but I can see evidence
It's
now.
got a ton of Slayer XP for that.
What do you mean see evidence?
I have an evidence tab now.
No, you don't.
Oh, I see what's happening. No, I don't.
But yeah, we can see it now.
Yeah, I can see police like incident report evidence.
Reset.
It's 10
See
times
if
the
the
monster's
evidence
health?
going away means you can't see the reports.
What is? The XP you get?
Nope, I can
Oh.
see the report and the evidence tab went away, so I'm good.
All right,
Well,
perfect.
130
All
times.
right, Mr. Density, you're up.
No one else?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Oh yeah, from the superior one? I see. Well, it gets these bones real quick. Okay. Have any of you guys had a chance to read over any of the stuff that I published last night?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're going to start with the Los Santos Bill of Rights equivalent, the Bill of Human Privilege, which covers some basic stuff.
Do I get to vote on this?
Of course you do. Why wouldn't you?
Because it doesn't apply to me.
Oh,
Are you sure?
changed, it looks like.
Oh, has it been
I
edited
know.
live here
Yeah,
in the meeting?
it's changed.
What do you mean?
Yeah, nice debate there, bud. I was gonna tell Tessa on you.
What do you mean? So does anyone because we've had a chance to read it, is there, so I work, full disclosure, I worked on this with Juno and my wife.
Okay.
And my wife primarily served as a reviewer. Juno served as a suggester. This is what we came up with. Obviously, there's some things that might be missing. So if you guys have any ideas on what we could add here, first let's go over what we have already. Any issues with anything that's written in these 14 points?
My preference is I'm actually okay with the jaywalking stuff, but I don't
have
think-
one thing with it, but go ahead.
I don't think anyone should be held liable. If you are
Yeah.
jaywalking and
Yes.
get clipped on the freeway, that is you being a done. No one should be held liable if you hit them
True.
while they're jaywalking.
We should be able
Well,
to charge
well,
you
it-
for
it-
jaywalking.
Well, it's written there that you can't sue a cop
The
or
only
EMS.
The only
no,
problem-
I'm
That should be
a
everybody.
civilian. If I fucking hit someone jaywalk, that's on them, man.
Oh.
well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
They should be jaywalking.
Yeah, but the point is that if we make it indiscriminate, then there is no such thing as
the easy
not
ALB. There's still-
jaywalking.
Correct.
So, for example, if I get hit in a crosswalk with the proper light, under this,
You can't hold anybody responsible.
yeah. And I
So-
will say, in this city, as I learned today, it is exceptionally hard to figure out who's in the right because, for example, I crossed the street going northbound on the eastern side of the intersection of Vespucci and Alta,
Mm-hmm.
and a cop pulled me over for jaywalking. And I said I wasn't jaywalking.
Wait,
I had
what?
the little white, walk signal thingy. And then we both realized that there is a crossing signal with the little red hand and the white man walking, but there is no crossing lines or crosswalk painted on the ground.
There are multiple intersections that are like
You could
that. I walk
decriminalize
to work every
jaywalking
day,
without calling it
so,
illegal.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to handle shit like that. She
There-
ended
there
up
are
just
some
telling me,
places
letting
you
me
have to
go
walk.
because I had the signal and I proved that
No,
there
I
was
like
a
the idea of
walking
giving
indicator, but,
people the ability to walk wherever they
yeah,
want.
it's kind of fucked.
So as written now, what do you guys think? Nakota, you had something?
So yeah, the only thing I would say is, and it seems like it's on point with everybody else's concern, is even without lights and sirens, like if I'm driving 55 and I have a green light and someone runs across the street because there's no more jaywalking and I hit them, that is,
Mhm.
I would argue, not my fault or anyone else's but their own, the person who ran
Right.
across.
Basically, we just be doing it like China does it, right? It's kind of like
Mhm.
the more expensive your car, the more right of way you have.
Honestly, like I said, I walk to work every single day. I even got clipped today crossing a crosswalk. But the people stopped and checked on me. I mean, it's whatever. But I know that there's also been a lot of people who want to try and be funny and throw themselves out in front of people's vehicles. So everybody's looking for some way to cash grab these days. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you want to say it, but
Okay, well,
I-
how about we do it? They may walk wherever they please at their own risk.
yeah.
just kind of leave it open ended.
Why don't we just say? Why don't we say that?
Nice one, Chatter.
We are decriminalizing jaywalking.
Mhm.
However, if someone is crossing a street in a manner that would be previously defined as jaywalking, they do so at their own risk. So that way, if a citizen still adheres to the crosswalks and the walking signals, they can still sue someone for running them over.
Oh. Okay.
But if they choose to ignore the walking signals,
Kirby!
Who's
What is
Jaying
the
this?
J? Who's
Yeah,
J?
who's
Yeah, yeah.
Jaying
What?
this?
Crane, I think
It
you were
was
pushing down
me.
on the
Yes,
pad a little
I
too
Why are you
hard.
yelling at me
Yeah.
for?
so
Oh, sorry. I saw your thing up
That's
there.
So
funnier than
if-
Lenny
if-
for me.
so that way, if like for example, I'm walking legally in the crosswalk and someone runs me over because I walk a lot, then I can still, they can still be charged for like, let's say, negligent driving or something.
Who uses
But
J
people
for
can
push to talk?
jaywalk at their own risk.
That's crazy.
Right? Does that make sense?
Jaywalking is decriminalized. Jaywalk at your own risk.
What is the new gateway to terrorism then?
That's a good question. Smoking a joint.
Littering.
Prostitution.
Littering.
Prostitution's a
Prostitution?
very-
I feel like that's
not
a
many
bit
people have
extreme.
that one. There's a lot of terrorists that have never done that.
How does that look, Crane?
That's good.
You like to
So it's
capitalize?
capitalize that. You have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm learning new writing stuff every day. Okay. How does that look, Nakota?
Jaywalking at your own risk, I love that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Can we go ahead and remove? Actually, hold on.
I like that. To be honest, yeah.
Can we remove the charge from the MDT? Is that possible, Crane?
I can, do so.
Nice. So, in accordance with Crane's vision of sort of crafting a government body slash judicial body, I and everyone else was advised to kind of not just copy and paste shit from the American history, right? Because it doesn't pertain to us per se.
Yeah.
That said, I did include some things from that just make complete fucking sense from American legislation, like the definition of probable cause, which I know the police department is still utilizing now.
Why do we need that?
Yeah, isn't that? I was going to ask. That's Article 5 from our Constitution, search and seizure. So we already have it in there as a protected right.
Okay, hold on.
Which is good. That means you're right in line with with
Absent
Crane.
probable cause with exigency. Oh, nice. I missed that. Cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna renumber these then.
Okay.
Okay, so one we're just eating.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make the jaywalking one number 1, and I'm gonna rename them, number them.
I believe that jaywalking one now rightly sits at number 1 on this list. I feel like that's just setting the tone for the rest.
Okay,
You want me to
good.
just?
Good.
You want me to just number them?
Sure.
All right. So
So I'm gonna delete the first one.
What, Cantor? What are the hospitals and medical facilities under LSMG currently?
We only function out of Central and Sandy. That's the
So
only
is
real
the
official
one
ones
that's like
going
up
on.
in Toledo, is that like closed
I
down?
believe
or-
that's all closed down. I don't know if I don't
Oh, it does
know
autosave.
what's
I just
going on
noticed
up
that.
there, I'll be honest.
Hmm.
As far as I'm aware, it's not something that
Alright,
we
cool.
have access to use currently.
How does number 2 look, guys? Any concerns or additions you'd like to add?
I'm fine with that.
That's what we talked about last time,
I
right?
liked it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, is that just? I'm sorry, I was a little distracted. Is that just the hospital functioning as is? Is that?
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
basically
Much,
just
yeah.
publicly stating that
Just
free,
writing it down.
free healthcare will be
Doesn't
enforced for now.
Does it, still,
I
does it
haven't-
charge you $50 if you see
Does-
Kate?
does Kate
No.
charge now?
No,
No.
I don't believe
Oh.
so.
Okay, easy.
No, she doesn't.
She can also actually help you up now, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. No more noodle arms.
Okay, so
Thank God for that.
2 is good.
Okay.
I like that.
Three. God damn it!
Who keeps Jane? Crane, you old man.
You can you can Control Z to refix the spacing on that. By the way.
So, only question I would have about 3 is that we do have, I think we have a charge which is kind of similar to what is in other states, which is kind of like a fighting words charge.
Mm-hmm.
Forget
Yeah.
which one it is. Hold on.
Is
It's
it criminal threats?
It's the criminal threats.
no, not criminal threats.
Another
It's
one?
hold on. Public order, disturbing the peace.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So, unlawfully fighting or challenging another person to fight in a public place, disturbing another person by loud and unreasonable noise if this is done willfully and maliciously, and then finally using offensive words in a public place if the words are likely to provoke an immediate violent reaction.
So who's gonna follow Bobby Charles around and just keep citing him for disturbing the peace?
Maybe we just put a
Sorry.
GoPro on him.
Yeah, pretty much. Just keep billing him every time he does it.
Now, I will say that the reason for that charge in other jurisdictions is pretty clear. Whereas I would imagine that if someone were to do something like that here, they would just get deported. So maybe we don't need that portion of the charge.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
true.
fair, honestly. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Wait, what about deportation? Deporting?
Deportation. Deportation sounds like a hybrid with another word.
No, that's why. I'm
Hey, you want to introduce the legislation? Go for
Words
it.
are
Jenna.
hard.
No.
This is going to be
Skip.
unpopular.
Skip.
I'm just saying. Right
Skip.
now.
No.
Yep.
As written, is there any problem with number 3?
All right, fine. I mean, are we saying though that I guess like what Crane said, like you can't make like terroristic threats or anything. We're not classifying that as like freedom of speech.
Yeah,
So
right.
I kind of wanted to leave it for the courts if there ever was a freedom of speech case or whatever, they could
Courts could limit it a little bit or something.
Correct.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is kind of like this is kind of how it works in other places, right? You have a broad, and this is God. I don't want to start this debate, so no one respond to this, please. I'm just using it as an example. But you have, let's say, in the U.S., the Second Amendment, which
Guns.
allows you to bear arms, and then the government, sets conditions upon that right that are deemed reasonable without infringing upon the core nature of the right. So, same idea with freedom of speech is you're entitled to freedom of speech until that conflicts with another person's right, for example, to not be, discriminated against, etc.
That's the Ninth Amendment for the American Bill of Rights is the no right shall infringe upon another one.
Yeah. So, I think we're fine to leave that as is because the courts can just handle any overlap.
So
Alright.
don't bring up social media posts.
See, I kind of went one of two ways with this when we were working on this last night, and ultimately we decided to allow the Department of Justice enough freedom to maneuver however it is they please, and I feel like that's the way that we define a unique identity for Los Santos in terms of courts and shit. My instinct initially was to define social media stuff and whatnot, but I was like, maybe we do it this way instead.
Yeah, I'm
it could
just-
be like a case
let it
law or
ride, see
something
what
in the
happens.
future. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with the dust settling in the courtroom, honestly, on some of these things. So it gives a much clearer and concise definition, I guess, in the long term.
Okay.
Can I ask a question for the notes? Does that mean that we can't use rap lyrics as evidence anymore?
Wait, what?
Kermie, if you want to say it, you have my permission.
I want to say what?
It.
It?
Hold up. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Wait, I don't get it.
Yeah, you don't, because you're a fucking
No.
square.
It's okay.
What?
Wow.
Why are you being like this?
Number 4.
Just think about it more. I'm sure you'll get there.
Number 4, every citizen within Los Santos are within the right to publicly urinate. Given the lack of bathrooms citywide, an effort must be made to do so in relative privacy. Any concerns with that?
There's an effort
Oh,
to must be
God.
made.
It needs to be flushed out because
I literally
nice
walked
pun. That was
past
a good
somebody
pun.
peeing
I
in a
know.
potted plant in the hospital lobby.
Reed is gonna get on the counter of Senior Buns and he's gonna be like, "This is as private as I can get," and then he's gonna piss on somebody.
Well,
Yeah, there's always-
hold on.
he didn't make an effort though. He just kind of walked
Hold
around the
on.
counter.
I mean, this is definitely going to conflict with public indecency, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Being
there's
able to pull your car
there is already established.
anywhere.
There's already
not gonna
established.
be good.
There's already established precedent on public indecency with the Vivek Ramaswamy case, where they were talking about doing sex acts in public, and no one batted an eye.
Well,
Well, hold on. Not commenting on something is not the same as endorsing it, or judicially.
Yeah.
I don't.
Courts
you
all
know.
the time will refrain from giving guidance on a certain topic because they don't feel it's their purview, even though it may
That's
be.
a says you.
Not that I spend a lot of time looking at the public indecency
Notorious, thank you very
charge,
much.
but I believe that has a very specific definition, and technically speaking, pulling your pants down to urinate wouldn't fall under it.
Yeah, because doesn't it say something about fondling?
Yeah,
or
it
something?
says
Correct. You have to
lewd caress
yeah.
or
Oh my
indecent
God.
fondling of the body.
If you pull your pants down and then pull them up, that's not public indecency as far as it's written.
Yep.
And it could be argued that warning people like, hey, this is as private as I can be is effort.
What
Yeah.
about
So-
is there some kind of charge?
We can leave. I mean, if it ever becomes an issue in the courts,
I just want to make sure cops have an ability to charge someone who pisses in senior buns or whatever.
Yeah, right now I don't
Yeah.
think we have anything.
We don't.
Because like I said, I
Uh.
literally walked past a doctor peeing in a potted plant in the lobby at the hospital yesterday. So
Vandalism, I guess, is pee damaging. I don't know.
I used to argue maybe littering sometimes. But...
Disorderly conduct engages in behavior intending to cause public inconvenience. Yeah, they could just argue they didn't intend public.
I was just gonna say that I was just trying to go to the bathroom. I wasn't trying to inconvenience anybody.
I mean, if you hide in a bush that covers you from the chest down, at least you're making the effort.
Yeah. See, I kind of wanted to have a fun little bone, throw a little bone to the DOJ if they ever got a quirky little case where some guy Reed, for example, was like, oh, I walked 5 steps. Clearly, an effort was made. That's
That's exactly what he'll do too.
Yeah, sounds good.
That's fine.
Just leave it.
Hold on, where is it? I lost it. Okay, right here. I'm gonna add another word here.
Okay.
Reasonable effort.
Mm.
Boom.
Ooh, I like that word. I like that word.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
I feel like I forgot
This
to
would be
do
a
something like
crazy court case.
that.
I'm definitely gonna end up being the first person at a bench trial for someone pissing in public. So I'll make
I
sure to
love
call you
this.
down there
Oh,
when it
yeah,
happens.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh God.
So number 5. All citizens of Los Angeles are entitled to free housing afforded by the state. I gotta re-edit this. Hold on. At present, this only applies to the apartments currently located in Little Seoul, though this may be expanded later. Comments, concerns?
Seems straightforward.
Yep.
Fine with it.
And this is another inspiration drawn from other systems that just makes complete fucking sense, and that I'm sure that police officers would probably follow anyway. And that's no double jeopardy. It was worded slightly differently, simply just kind of.
Yeah, I'm already thinking about prosecuted versus.
What do you think a better word here would be for this?
Well, because technically you can be prosecuted but not adjudicated. So, for example, you could prosecute someone for murder, there could be a mistrial, and then you would need to retry the case. The way this was worded, that would bar that.
So I'm trying. I'm trying to present double jeopardy.
Yeah,
So what do you think
I
a
know.
better word would be?
It's very hard to do it without just taking words.
Do you think adjudicated would be enough?
No, because then that prevents appeals.
Okay.
Fuck.
Hold on. Definition.
While
Of
he's thinking
double
about
jeopardy.
that, I'm sure there would be some cops who did this, but should we change the word crime to criminal?
The prosecution of a
incident?
person twice for the same offense.
Because I mean, I'm just let's say, you charge someone for attempted murder, they get found not guilty, but you're like, okay, well, fuck you, I'm gonna charge you with assault with the deadly instead. It's technically a different crime.
But isn't it
Uh,
under the same crime though? I guess the same incident.
That's why I said it's
That's
like
why he's saying changing the
it's
word
changing to
from
same
crime to
criminal incident. Yeah, because when
Right,
I
my
think
bad.
crime, I think like charge.
At,
Mhm.
at that point, it could once again be a DOJ thing where they can use that opportunity to truly define what it means to not double jeopardy someone in Los Santos, right? But Crane's writing something. I'm kind of interested what he's cooking right now, so let's see.
Yeah, I don't even know if this would be possible, but would that mean that if someone was charged with one crime in an instance, if it was found later that maybe necessarily they weren't the murderer, but they were an accomplice to the murder, would they be unable to be charged with that crime in that instance?
These are questions that the judges will have to answer.
Yeah.
All right, we'll kick it then. That's fine. I'm just spitballing too. It's like the things that just come to my head straight away.
Yeah. That's like the natural instinct when it comes to stuff like this. So I totally get it, and I appreciate it because we need that kind of insight. Looking good to me right now.
The only thing I'm trying to work through is I'm just trying to check for holes. So if I prosecute Malton for murder, then he's been adjudicated at trial. There was a conclusive verdict. He's found innocent. He may not be placed under threat of imprisonment by the state.
Can you make the
prosecution
legalization of
for criminal-
jaywalking a public announcement? We will.
Let's say Malton is found guilty and he appeals. He is not being placed under threat of imprisonment by the state prosecution because he, as the moving party, is not the state prosecution. So that would allow for appeals. It would allow for normal prosecution.
Mhm.
Mistrials are not conclusive verdicts.
What is the thing? Is it delayed death exception? That would be.
So that would be an
a
exception
separate-
to this policy.
Sid Cullen thinks or something?
Which we would need to write in right now.
Because I mean that in essence would be a new incident, right?
Violence.
No, I guess you
felony,
would need to write it in
resulting
because it could be
in-
argued that it would be a result of the same incident. So
So do you always capitalize a pronoun after a semicolon? See, I trust Nathan because he went to college. So, but I don't fucking know. You're asking us? I don't know. Greek Bagel and Bingo Bandito, thanks for subbing. If it was the 18th century, maybe it's just like the way that you write legal stuff. I don't know. Chat GPT that shit. I don't use Chat GPT. I kind of like calling them privileges instead of points.
So that exception is something we've honored in the past. And basically, if I bonk Max over the head with a pipe wrench, and he lives but he goes into a coma, and I get charged and convicted of, let's say, reckless endangerment or attempted murder or whatever, and then he actually does die, the state can then prosecute me for first-degree murder.
all right, perfect.
Is this suitable to the head of the bar and the Chief Justice?
Yep.
Works for me.
Okay. Sick. Number 7. Any citizen of Los Santos has the right to record video and audio from the public view.
Now, does that also cover recording like from the street into someone's home?
Well, the idea here is that they could just pull their curtains if they don't want to be recorded.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I like it.
Shout out to
Should
Shabbat.
we classify this as a two-party state at the same time?
I like zero
Want
party.
to be a two-party state?
I like zero party. What do you think?
I kind of.
I like
I
zero
kind of
party.
We-
agree to zero party.
As someone
Yeah.
We
do you
once
think?
again with
Yeah.
the Ramaswamy case, they kind of upheld Zero Party by way of allowing that into evidence, right? The recording of him by Mr. K filming the whole Lilith interaction with Bobby Charles. It's not one party, Twitch shut that Zero Party.
Were they in a public place?
Yeah, they were at Chumash, right?
Fair.
Yeah, okay, that's not what I'm
Yeah.
referring to. I'm talking about if Max and I have a phone call, a one party state is where only one person on the call has to consent. So I can record Max without telling him in a one party state. In a two party state, both people have to be aware of the recording. So I'm suggesting that if we're handling legislation surrounding recording video and audio in public, we also should handle how it's going to happen in private.
Okay.
Okay.
If I may, wouldn't that, if you make it a zero party state, wouldn't that give cops more leeway to be able to essentially tap your
true.
phones without a search warrant?
Would it?
Because they don't need your permission for, they don't need anybody's permission for it to record you at that point.
I think they were referencing two people talking to each other physically in public. If I'm not,
The first
Unless
part.
I'm
The first part
misreading
is
it.
no. You're right.
Yeah.
But as far as private is concerned, that's a good point, Kermie. What do you think should be written here, Crane, in terms of private stuff? Because I agree.
I am
you can. Oh, never mind.
I am not a fan of one party states. I think that a one party state often leads to
People being
very
psychopaths.
complicated situations for the DOJ, because then, for example,
Oh, see, it's kind of
you
tricky because
would
people can.
have a conversation with someone in which you discuss a bunch of context and you assure them of certain things and make promises
It's
and
the,
rely
it's the
on
same
your
reason
history
why.
and all this.
Hold on.
And then you would start the recording and be like, "So you're gonna murder this bitch with me, right?" And the person goes, "Yeah." And then the judge gets up there and just hears, "So you're gonna murder this bitch with me, right?" Yeah. It's like, I would prefer that if recordings are going to be made of private conversations, it would be structured in a way where both parties need to be aware of it, because otherwise there's way too much opportunity for malfeasance.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you put that in there at the end for 7? I mean, provided everyone here agrees that that is reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I will also say that it's very cumbersome in this jurisdiction to deal with recordings in court.
Yeah.
And most of the
Yeah.
time, I would prefer they be in public. Private recordings are absent two people agreeing. For example, and again, we'd have to write this as an
Three-party
exception. The
consent.
only time where you can be recorded but not agree. Well, actually, you don't have to agree. You just have to be informed. Sorry, I should make that clear. It's not about agreement. It's about information. You have to know that you're being recorded. So, for example, if you're in an interrogation room in PD, they have to tell you that
Yep.
you're there turning on a recording.
Yep.
That sort of thing.
Mhm.
CIs can't wear a wire. Essentially, we're not doing that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll write up some language. Right, give me a second.
There's so normally I agree with Crane's philosophy on kind of like doing stuff to prevent shitlording in the future. Normally I disagree with that, and usually I'm like, if someone decides to kind of like abuse the law or whatever, it can be taken out in character. But as far as recordings are concerned, of like private stuff, I think it's important that we don't empower people to be like, hey, I got 2 hours of phone calls for this guy, blah blah blah. It's just it seems like it enables role play, but what it really is,
I think that should cover it. So that
it's like a kill
clear.
shot for whatever role play is surrounding, like, any amount of intrigue. It shuts everything down. It's pretty power gamey. But it just disguised as role play. If that makes sense. I don't know. All right, sick. Looks good. Number 8. We're gonna take a break after this, guys. A little 5-minute break after we get through.
Yeah, please
This
go
one.
ahead. I need a
Yeah.
cigarette.
Sounds good.
Well, I need to go to the bathroom, but yeah.
Actually,
Actually, can I pee right here now if I make an effort in the corner?
Oh
nope,
my
that's
God.
not a reasonable effort.
Oh, that's-
We
Kidding,
also
I'm
have-
kidding.
The doors-
I'm a
the
bathroom
doors-
guy.
This, yeah.
Doors is locked, so it's a reasonable enough effort, right?
I guess
Oh.
so.
Has been passed yet.
I'll use the restroom.
Right,
Just
are
lock
you
yourself
using
a
it using it
criminal's
right now?
bike.
No. I can wait until this
Okay.
last one. So we
Just
go
find
break.
the legal book on the wall that says tax code and piss in that because it's never going to exist anyway.
Understood.
The people of Los Santos are permitted the ability to assemble peacefully in protest or otherwise, provided it is not disruptive to the city on large. Government officials and the citizens of Los Santos reserve the right to drive their vehicle through crowds of disruptive protesters/assemblers, provided they are impeding the flow of traffic.
Oh my God! What the
I
hell?
feel like
Oh
that
my
can get
God.
abused.
So hey, I'm actually okay with this in a general sense. If they warn them that like, hey, if you don't move, I'm going to do this, and they have to dial 911 once the deed is done.
Hasn't this happened somewhere?
I'm pretty sure it happened when they marched on City
Wasn't that the
Hall,
thing with the
right?
tiki torches?
Not familiar with that.
Okay, so I added and have issued a suitable warning to the disruptive protesters/assemblers.
I also feel they should have to dial 911 after they do it. Just saying like, hey,
That's
I just
fair.
I just ran over a bunch of people. By
Isn't-
the way,
yeah.
like they might
Isn't
need
that
medical.
with felony run you have to stop and identify yourself and stuff? Felony hit and run. Is that
Well, I was
is
gonna-
the expectation here that
I was going to ask, is there a possibility that number 1 could conflict with this in any way, shape, or form?
They're not jaywalking anymore if they're in the street, right? They're protesting at this.
They're blocking the street and protest. I mean, I saw. So I actually I saw it the other day. Like people were. You might have been there actually, Max. They were trying to like block the entrance to prison because of something.
I was that when my wife and I got married.
Yeah, it was.
Well, Crane would
actually.
have been there too then.
Yeah.
You got married at the prison.
Gosh.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if I was drinking, I would say it sounds like a great idea. I really want to say it sounds like a great idea.
How do you spell collision?
It does sound like a great idea, but I feel like you can abuse it.
I mean, anything can be abused, honestly.
Well, does this now
But-
mean that being in a public roadway is a good enough reason to run someone over at full speed?
That's what I was thinking about number 1.
Well, that's why I said you have to warn them first, like, because I presumably it's not going to be like as I'm approaching, like, hey, get out of the way. It's going to be like I've stopped, get out of the way, or I'm coming through anyway.
It's
and
not.
then if they don't, it's on them.
What this does is it gives the judges a chance to define what a peaceful assembly is or a protest. Like, maybe like how many people, or like, was there did they publicize their protest or assembly previous to getting run over and then trying to sue the guy who did it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. I added the 911 thing. Any ideas, concerns currently?
I mean, even if there's an abuse concern, I think if our gut feeling says this is good, we could always pass it and then repeal it like next week if we open up like a fucking hornet's
Is
nest
it a
on this
crime
one.
if I organize a protest before people realize how this works and then go rent a car and just get a little stress relief?
Oh my
I feel like that
God,
might
Frank.
qualify under the abuse of this, though, wouldn't it?
I didn't hear shit, bro. you know what I'm saying, dog? I didn't hear shit, dog.
Oh my god, no.
Okay, number 9. All legal citizens of Los Santos have the right to vote for their own mayor. A mayor is the premier elected official to represent the will of the general populace.
I do get what the point of this one is, but the
What's the
wording
point?
of their own mayor, I feel like
Oh,
that
yeah.
is a very
Isn't this well, hold on, isn't this all of this in the establishment of the city council?
I feel like I peeked at it and I did not see anything that. Hold on, let me check.
The mayor's seat will be elected via majority vote from the citizens in a quarterly election.
Oh, there we go.
Boom. Okay, well we can remove that one then.
Yeah, okay.
My MDT is freezing.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll remove it and then I'll renumber it.
Are
Thank
we
you,
gonna
Judah.
take that break then if
Yeah.
we're good on that point?
Well, we're not done yet.
I thought you said we were
But
taking
you
a break
said
after that
a
point.
break,
After
though,
8, you were
right?
about to take a, yeah,
Oh,
you were
sorry.
gonna take a break.
I meant after the thingy, but we can take it after the. We can take that right now. Fuck it.
Okay.
Let's take it right now. Fuck it. Break time.
Okay.
All right, beer back.
Time.
Hey, sup?
Time.
Who the fuck's yelling at me? No way. Bro, I didn't even know there was a vote for that, by the way. This time I did not know. What does that run? It's the alien run, dude. Reasonable effort right here, boys. I'll be right back. 1 sec. Hi. Suicide Squad kill the Justice League win, Moonmoon? Never a clock. Oh, I'm putting socks on. Don't panic about the new gunfights, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. Or that PD gunfights. Hey, Mike.
I have
Hey, come here. Would you appreciate having a late night meeting sometime for one of these?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay, I'll bring it up.
Do either of you have a mask? Apparently, I need one.
Nope.
Nope. I am not a person that wears a mask.
Shit. All right.
Hopefully I'll be good since I was here the whole time.
All right. I guess I'm suffering.
You look great. You just look like Molson now.
Hey, where's
That's
Juno?
funny. People used to say it a long time ago.
I'll get my shit sorted.
Oh, hey.
Max, don't worry.
Thank you.
No. No, hold on. I have an idea. How many of you guys wouldn't be able to do a late night meeting for Michael's sake? Because he's kind of showed up twice already for the this one. I can do a late night one. Who cannot?
What's like late night?
On the weekend, I can do whenever.
Okay. Probably I would say in terms of hours, probably like 8 hours from now.
Holy fuck. Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
very
can-
late for me at that point.
I can make
can
any
do
time
that.
work as long as I have enough, prep to get myself ready.
So
Exactly.
for
What's
reference,
the
that
time
would
8
be
hours from now?
4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Pacific.
Beautiful.
Or we can do earlier than
Yeah,
that too.
yeah. I
That
can do
is-
it. No, it's
that
okay.
is
I can make that
really
happen.
Like
fucking
how about
late for me.
11 or 12 p.m. or a.m. I guess Pacific.
Okay.
So,
Sounds
like, as
or
long as
we
I'm
could just
getting
do
told.
it right after tsunami, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
As
an
long as
hour,
it's told,
hour,
that shows
hour,
up.
hour after
Easy.
tsunami.
Yeah.
I can do that.
We can alternate for Michael's sake. Or
I'm down.
or we can make that our
Okay.
permanent time too if it's more agreeable.
Whichever. I'm like, I don't mind this. I'm just a bit
see,
on the
I
slow
see
side.
myself having like trouble sticking around for the entire meeting if we do it at that time.
Okay.
Because it's not really necessarily about the starting time; it's about when it ends.
Right.
True. So in the future, I want us to use that agenda posting, and hopefully that'll help us speed things along. Also, right now we're kind of filling in the holes and stuff, so it's gonna take a little bit longer. As
they'll get
they're gonna get shorter and shorter as we go. on.
shorter. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for any time. I can make it work whenever. No problem.
Word.
So I
Yeah.
have,
No, that's fine with me.
I have like 10 combos on me if anyone needs food.
I would take one. That's what
You
I
really
was
gonna make
thinking
this
of.
offline? No, someone's gonna stream it,
Maybe a
guys.
slushie earlier. That was really
Someone's
nice.
gonna
I'm
stream it.
Nowhere near thirsty with thanks to that. Well, it kinda
This
felt like
future
drinking a
proofs
hamburger through a straw, which is really hard
Ew.
to.
when I inevitably stop streaming
explain,
RP as well.
but that's kinda what it
Oh,
felt like I was
God.
doing. Thank you. Thank you.
I have texture
Oh, that's
issues.
fine.
That just gave me horrible cringe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm good, Juno. Thank you.
All right. I already gave you food.
Thank you, sweetheart.
There you
I
go.
appreciate
I'm giving
that.
burgers for now, but I can get
I
fries
have
a
food.
little
I have food.
later.
I have food.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have chips on me, but I definitely won't turn down a burger. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll let Discord know when we're doing
So
who's
I
streaming
don't.
it.
Alex,
I guess
you need
I'll wait
anything?
till everyone's back.
Yeah, I'm all in Zaire.
I had kind of an idea just now. It might require a little work on the back end, but we've always struggled with, and I thought about this because some of the stuff we're putting
No
in.
worries.
Book of
We've
Spells is
always
my favorite
struggled with
OSR
like what is a civilian and what isn't, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Heard
always
about
kind of
that.
been like, if you're not defined as like a member of a gang formally, then you're kind of just a civilian, right?
No, I got stuff from the vending
And in the
machines, but
past,
thank you.
it's led to a lot of like, kind of, people running around with, millions of dollars in sports cars, but no real understanding of where it came from, why they got it, whatever. And so it's been kind of hard for PD to like treat people accordingly, because everyone kind of just gets lumped into being a criminal unless they're a government employee.
I thought Nakota said that in the past it was if they weren't a government employee, then they were a citizen.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is like, I think you should have a benefit to being like a reputable citizen, but I'm trying to figure out ways to quantify that, right? Or qualify it rather. And so I'm gonna talk to some folks about this, maybe the guys that run Group 6 and things like that. But what if what if we, as the state, empowered PD to, when they look at someone's profile, to see what kind of standing they have with civilian jobs.
Huh.
So, for example, if I pull over,
This is sounding real
Dakota,
un-American.
and he's
Social
just Joe
credit.
Blow on the street, and he, he's being accused of something, or there's some allegation about him or whatever.
I don't want to
maybe
get
it
combative
might
with Crank because it feels like we
be
have him on our side
deserved
right
for
now.
him to have some kind of public-facing recognition of the fact that he, does engage in like civilian. I don't know how to phrase it. It's kind of in my head. It's a fledgling idea, but basically, if there's a way that we could that civilians could get a benefit to their reputation with the police without, without being a government employee.
Yeah, give him a social
So-
credit
social
score,
credit
Crane.
system.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Social credit system.
Oh,
Let's
no,
go.
oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, Crane's doing it now.
Let's go,
You
Crane.
see, guys?
Oh, we
You
just
see
call
guys?
it commercial rep.
I don't know, because like, for example, I feel like if someone has worked hard enough to become like a reputable member of Group 6 that's entrusted to like deliver large cash deposits, then that probably should mean something, right? And I don't know.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyway, just a thought. I'm just floating that out there for brainstorming in the future because that just came to me.
So, like, if we pulled someone over and they were like, "Oh no, I work Group 6 every day," there might actually be a way to verify with their boss. Is that what you're saying, or is it more?
Yeah, kind of like so. Or for example, if someone were to be found with a PD gun planted on them, there might be like more benefit of the doubt for the police to decide whether to charge someone based on their reputation with state-run agencies.
Right. That was
Got
a
Pretty Magic, thanks for
conversation,
watching, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for
I
subbing.
mean,
Because right now you're
because-
kind of just flipping coins in a lot of ways, and even in the past 5 years ago, unless someone was a judge or whatever, you're kind of just going off a personal reputation that you might know through word of mouth.
Right.
But given that we have state-run agencies, maybe there should be some kind of benefit to that, recognition. I don't know. It's a fledgling thought just for people to chew on.
I like the social credit system. Okay, are we ready to continue going down the Bill of Human Privilege?
Yeah.
Sure.
So we've sorted out number 7. Thank you, Crane, for adding that last part. Number 8. Oh wait, sorry, we already did number 8 too. Any objections to 8 again? As is currently.
Nope, I think it's
Nice.
Oh, I'm gonna add one more thing, number 7,
Yeah.
and just say that recordings obtained with, well, how do we even adjudicate? Yeah, I guess the judges had to figure it out. I was gonna say maybe we write something about recordings obtained without this affirmative consent will not be viewed as valid evidence in court, but then everyone would just say, I didn't know.
Yeah, just let
So
it
I guess
Yeah.
let the judge figure it out. Okay.
Number 9 is citizens of Los Santos who possess a legal and current weapons license have the right to bear and possess a firearm Other tools or other or implements utilized as melee weapons do not require a license to bear and possess.
I have a problem with this.
What's wrong?
The DOJ has recently issued a clarifying advisory to the PD that even though they maintain weapons licenses, they may not purchase and maintain civilian guns.
Correct. And everyone's well aware of it within PD, so.
Why you just change current to civilian then?
So illegal and civilian weapons license?
Yeah. I mean, I think PD would handle anyone who wants to argue that technicality, right? So I think that's probably fine if we just add that term.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Forgive me for being obtuse.
Sure.
What's the point of this?
It's kind of in the same vein of like a lot of. I don't want there to be unspoken expectations of people, or expectations from the people to the government, right? Which is why we did, freedom of speech. Which is why we did, the free housing stuff. Obviously, everyone knows that they have access to free housing. It's just kind of, a little fluff, a little flavor, to, what's it called? That's basically it.
Okay, I mean, hey, as long as we still control who gets a license, then I guess effectively it's no different.
Right.
All right, sounds good to me.
The next one is my favorite one. All citizens of Los Santos possess the right to challenge another to a duel to the death. Individuals who choose to participate in a consenting duel to the death must sign a contractual agreement written by a lawyer with a bar license under the Los Santos Department of Justice. 2 police officers must be present during the duel with a copy of a signed contractual agreement. If more than 2 parties wish to participate, they will duel at the Vinewood Bowl, the Coliseum.
Probably need a psych screening on this one.
Sack is already often overstaffed. That might be a struggle to get, but Pixie might be down. We can speak with her if you want.
But I thought didn't we just do trial or combat last week? Now we're doing shooting.
Melee.
But this is so that one's a bit less violent, and it would be with fists. This is
They could set their own terms, basically.
Who enforces the contract?
This is a duel to the death, so one person's going to die at the very least.
Oh my god!
Very slow.
So we're 100% sure one of these people's gonna die after this is over.
They better. They signed a contract.
It's crazy.
What if they're forced into it?
How would they be forced into it?
Well,
Points, gun at head, sign
Held-
contract. Pussy.
Yeah, sign contract. Do
Oh,
this
no.
duel now.
Yeah.
well, a lawyer would need to be present for that.
Well,
Lawyer also has gun
yeah.
to head.
And some may just do it because
Yeah.
it's funny.
They might. You know that the first people up there are going to be people like Chatterbox, and he's not going to die. We've managed to bring him back from the brink of everything.
James Randall
Great
will
medical
just
care
go
around
around and
here.
challenge everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this one.
He doesn't like the.
I mean, it might be a good way to get guns off the street. Because there's nothing that says you
that's
can legally
fair.
possess a firearm.
Yeah.
Just let
arrest
people
them
sign
after
these
the fact if
contracts
they
and then
use
just
it.
get the guns?
Yeah.
I mean, and a duel isn't always necessarily a gun,
Well,
right?
if it has to be
They just
supervised by,
blade each other.
if it has to be supervised by the police, right? Think about it this way.
I was about to say that, yeah.
They're at. Let's say they're at the Vinewood Bowl. 2 people are dueling to the death. Understood. Let's say one of them was forced at gunpoint to go there. What's stopping that guy from shouting to the cops, "I did not agree to this"? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I have your girlfriend
person with a
hostage.
weapon,
You
or-
need
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
this, or she dies. If you say anything to anybody, she dies.
I don't agree with the gun to the head loophole, guys. I'm just gonna say that.
I think we're looking too much into it. I mean, my thing is, I agree with the psych. Have a doctor on scene so they could medically pronounce them dead. The duel is not over until a
Oh my
doctor
gosh.
pronounces them dead.
That's crazy.
I
What
also
if I'm
think
supervising and I get shot?
I mean, look, don't go to it then. I don't know.
Well,
But
I have to.
I also think they
I
should all
guess,
occur regardless of the Vinewood.
Generally, none of our doctors are authorized to treat outside of the hospital. That doesn't necessarily apply to verifying someone is deceased.
Yeah, they're not treating. They're checking for a pulse, right?
The doctor
guess we
pronounce him dead.
I have a feeling Garrett would have some issues with that.
And this would have to be contingent upon PD even being available to do this, because we
Hold
can't
on.
pull
So
them off duty.
let me just question the obvious here.
Guns to admin, don't ban me.
Why did we enact mutual combat with the restrictions it had if we're just going to do this?
For a less permanent, less violent, more fisticuffs oriented thing for judges to supervise.
Shouldn't be the other way around.
This is first degree mutual combat.
Yeah.
This is advanced mutual combat.
I think this is the first time I'm actually going to be a stick in the mud and say I'm not down for this one, dog.
I like the concept. I don't.
I feel like it
I
could.
think
There's
if
just
we're
too
worried about-
much.
if we're
It
worried
would
about-
set up too many people, like to pull some. Yeah, like I said, I expect the worst of everybody, and I can just see this going so horribly wrong.
But if we're worried about people getting held up and stuff, then perhaps when the
Just
the
ban
contract
abusers.
is being signed, then we have cops.
They're doing it
present,
again?
and the cops 101.
Well,
can talk
and
to
it's
the
just role playing,
individuals
guys.
who are
Give her a
going
break.
to sign it and say,
Elena,
you know,
there's something.
basically straight up, are you being forced into this? Yes or no? You know.
And again, if they have somebody hostage,
Yeah.
then
Well, I
know.
think you all are straight up looking too much. There are so many checks in
Yeah,
this. They
they-
have to get signed off by
Right,
someone. They have
then
to
just
We got
don't-
Malta,
don't-
dude.
Lawyer. They have to do. I'm saying they should have to do the Vinewood Bowl regardless. There's going to be a doctor on there. There's going to be two cops there who I'm presuming are doing their due diligence. Like I think we should be legislating for the 99.9% and not like the worst in the city.
Mullen
like,
wants
except-
to
I
kill
agree with you when it comes to
Yeah.
everything but people dying.
I'm still.
There's a
going
reason
to say
why we
no.
have,
I don't,
because
I
as a
don't care.
counterpoint to that, there's a reason why we have beyond a reasonable doubt, right? Because we protect life to the point of the 1%.
Yeah, I'm an EMS. It is my job to save lives. I'm not going to legislate
Yeah.
things where people can actually die. No, I'm not. This is a no for me.
Fair. I offer a clear counterpoint. I think some people in Los Santos deserve to die.
Agreed.
Do
That's
we
why
want
we're
a
trying to
death
have
penalty
Joey
then,
vote.
That's
or-
what we have the death penalty for.
Oh yeah.
Well,
that's
see
it.
that's the thing though, right? These violent shitbags, their lawyer might get them out of a death penalty, right? But if they're stupid enough to go out in the street and shoot people and rob people and do whatever, then they might be stupid enough to agree to a duel to the death, which takes care of the problem at the end point. Also, we could charge for it, guys. What do you think?
I do like money in the state account.
Yes,
so
sir.
It's always good.
Let's put this to a vote then. I am for this as written. Nakota?
I'm gonna be a nay on this one as written.
Yeah, not as written, but if I add just like my couple stipulations, I would be. Yes.
Okay. Let's dial it back then. What is a stipulation that you would like to see in here?
So I would like to see a psych sign off. I do agree with that.
From both parties?
Yes, because one might die. You know, they have to know that they may die during this, right? So they have to be of sound mind. I could go either way on this. You know, I'll defer to like Cantor or the doctors, but I think a doctor being present to check for a pulse, I think that'd be warranted.
I don't know if I can promise that, but I don't hate it. I'm open to the idea.
And I think to prevent, you know, the shitlording or not that, sorry, the gun to the head types of arguments, I think it should always be at the Vinewood Bowl. Like, this isn't going to be something that's in like a back alley thing. Like it's the Vinewood Bowl, the Coliseum. Like, all duels to the death are done there.
All right, hold on. All right. So I know that Edda disagrees with this on a moral level, which is fine. Nakoda, what part of this is it a moral thing for you?
Partially, I'm more like, okay, so the I'm obviously coming this from a PD standpoint, but the idea that say every single police officer you try to approach says, I object to this on a moral level and I don't want to participate in it.
Yeah.
I know that's like a very hypothetical. I'm just, this is where my mind goes to all
that would
these.
be a good way for the police to make their political voice known if they all objected on that ground, honestly.
That said, and I mean this as a compliment, Nakoda, but you're one of the most well-spoken, moral police officers I've ever known. A lot of them are just high school graduates, and a lot of them have the bloodlust.
That's true.
I'm gonna say this in the best terms I can, and you guys will have to read into this however you want.
Sure.
I think that we're creating an unenforceable free roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
As
that's
much-
what Mr. Simone was referring to as a slippery slope. Listen, Max, as someone who's a big fan of Westerns and, you know, The Righteous Man and all that, I'm a big fan of the idea.
Yeah.
I was one of the judges who 5 years ago consistently allowed mutual combat. I'm all for it. But I think there are issues at hand that are greater than us that would prevent this from ever working. And if you want to discuss that, we can discuss it privately.
Tell you what,
Mm-hmm.
I will speak to somebody about this.
Yeah.
I think it is not impossible to enforce this.
I know that things like this have been attempted in the past, and the consistent outcome is that people did not die.
Well, I think it's possible to, following all of these stipulations and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm saying no. Okay, let's talk about this elsewhere.
I know what you're saying. I get it.
Do we want to vote based off of the feasibility stuff, or do you want to table it then until we talk to other people, Max? Or do you talk to other people rather?
I recommend tabling it.
I think
Might be for the best.
I think we should table it as well. Okay.
Yeah, let's table that. Move on. Yeah.
I will speak to people about this, and I think it's a little extra work, but I think it's for a good cause.
Do you want me to remove it?
Okay.
Do you want to copy that and then, you know?
Oh, I had
whatever
another
with
idea. In terms of admin side of this, I think that we should, with our agenda, or not with our agenda, when we have the documents and we edit them like this at the meeting, the ones that get tagged as approved, I will volunteer to do this. What we should then do is, and what I'm doing is, I'm going to volunteer to do this, but also say that I'm not writing shit up in the future separately because I just don't have time. If we approve language in a meeting, it gets tagged as approved, then what I'm going to work on is a method by which I can then transition the report to the state announcements category. So the approved legislative acts immediately just get transitioned not only into legislation, but also state announcements. So then people can check the public MDT and just see what we passed.
All right. I like that.
Okay, cool.
Do you want
Yes,
me
Juno,
to-
please remove things that we table.
Yep.
That way they don't get promoted.
Okay.
All right.
Juno, can
Hell
you
yeah.
copy this as
Yeah,
written
I
and
got
put
you.
it somewhere else? Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. I have a point that I need to comment on when we get far enough down. Okay. The new number 10. I'm a fan of this one. The people of Los Santos reserve the right to form an organized militia in the event that their government has decided to militarize their police force, in parentheses S, so, you know, if there's other departments and whatnot that pop up. The leader of the militia should be elected by the people who wish to participate in it. The utmost effort must be made by this militia to reach a peaceful solution to their government's transgressions first. Alternative methods of reaching a solution will be just only if this has been attempted. Boom.
What is militarizing a police force defined as?
That's what I was thinking.
The precedent will be doing something like Sanguine again.
Yeah, but that wasn't those people renounced their citizenship.
Yeah.
So that's not a militia.
Loudly.
Okay, well, they weren't a militia. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, what I'm saying is that the crux of the issue here is the militarization of the police force.
And I'm saying, how do we define that?
With Sanguine as an example.
Yeah, but Sanguine wasn't. We're circular.
Yeah, that didn't. The militarization of the police force didn't happen until Sanguine
Renounced their citizenship
and declared.
So the two
war,
examples
so to
we
speak.
have of the police force being militarized are both in situations where the other party attempted either one, to annex land from the state, declare it their own, and declare themselves separate from the judicial and police systems, or two, the people absconded from the state physically and then were given the opportunity to return without consequence and chose to affirmatively renounce their citizenship. So in either event, I don't know how you can define militarization that would justify a militia. See what I'm saying? Like, even in other jurisdictions, the militarization internally only happens when people disagree with the rule of law and separate themselves formally.
That was also because we didn't have the police only got militarized because we don't have a standing army in this city. Like, they were just the most well-equipped ones. I mean, I think if the police are getting too out of whack, that's on either like the treasurer to defund them quite a bit, or this council to come to a vote and say, hey, you guys gotta stop doing this, or we're pulling back your power, like however that may be.
There's no way I'm approving.
Look, I'm not averse to the idea of a militia.
Right.
What I'm trying to understand is how what would trigger the militarization.
Yeah.
And if the examples being given are Sanguine and the Sandy Shores War, then I don't see how a militia matters there, because those people are no longer citizens anyway. In both cases, in Sandy, they established a compound, declared themselves a sovereign state, and declared the lands annexed. So they renounced their citizenship by pure definition.
Okay, stop there.
And then the other, they did affirmatively. Yeah.
Okay, so that happens. Why is it the purview of the police force to militarize and peacekeep that?
It's not the purview of the police. In Sanguine, they were
Why did they do it?
by the Senate. The Senate ordered them to.
Yeah, we were ordered
because
to
the
go.
federal government ordered them to, because we didn't have a standing army.
Okay, well, let's let the federal government handle this in the future then.
What do you mean?
I mean, the federal government has enough power and sway to establish all the infrastructure that we're working on now. It exists because you communicate with it. Why not let the federal government take this into their hands instead of putting the responsibility on the police force to act as an interim army?
Oh God.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, you don't. We don't want to do that.
What I don't want to do is to have the barely educated police force of Los Santos acting as an army.
Okay, so
that's what I want.
So why don't we just so then we can accomplish that with a different approach.
Okay.
Why don't you just put in a bill of human privilege that an employee of the state in a law enforcement capacity may not be forcefully conscripted into a multinational conflict?
Perfect.
Because that accomplished, and I'm with you on your goal on that. I'm with you there. That's fine.
There you go.
I just, I think the other way is a misapplication of the idea.
Well, I like your idea too, so let's get it.
Okay, let me write some language.
I wrote a little summary. I don't know if you see it right there.
Oh, yeah, an employee of the state in a law enforcement capacity may not be forcibly conscripted into a multinational conflict. Yeah, easy, perfect.
Okay.
A bunch of doctors were. What about that?
I would say I would just say an employee of the state may not.
Any employee.
I thought in Sanguine.
Yeah, I was over there.
Now, do we want to extend that to civilians? Do we want to say there's no such thing as a draft?
Yes.
Okay. Well-
I kind of like the idea of a draft, though. Let's say
that would be. Yeah.
I like that too.
let's for like issues. Like I heard rumors of a Russian invasion at one point while I was in prison. I think a draft could be kind of good for us in that regard.
Yeah, I think a draft it would be a tool in the back pocket that the council can vote on when
If
when
someone
it's needed.
dodges the draft, are they considered an enemy of the state?
I mean, we
hold on. I think the people of Los Santos.
Come on, I was going to get to my drone strike.
Well, we get there. I'm just saying. I think that I think we're dealing with a group of people, i.e., the citizens of Los Santos, that are inherently violent and would jump at the opportunity to enter into a draft to the point where I think we don't even need.
100%.
I don't even think we need to make it illegal for them if they decide not to do it. But you know what I'm saying. Like I think there would be enough people to do something about something like that if it ever came up.
So, so way back when, during the whole Russian stuff that happened, I remember specifically Kyle Pred wanted to
Voluntary
be the leader of the
conscription.
Los Santos army. That never went through because it was just a mess, and also, the Russian embassy sort of died down, and it wasn't needed. But there was a question that was raised where people wanted to sign up to be drafted to be part of this army.
Oh my god,
And
I got it.
the question was, if they have a criminal record, aka a felony, are they still eligible to be part of the draft?
Anyone who wants to lead the army has to submit into, let's call it, how many people, 8 or 10 max, into a 10-man Royal Rumble in the Coliseum to the death,
Oh yeah.
and the winner becomes the general.
There can only be one. There can only be one.
Oh God.
Well, we don't want to kill potential soldiers in the event that we need them on the front lines for another.
Yeah, but
Eastern
they'd
Bloc
always
moment.
harbor a grudge against them not being the leader. You can't have that person in your army.
Yeah, but we can also have like army generals and like other like captains or whatever the fuck, rather than just like one leader. So these people who were like exactly like this, where Max was elected mayor, and then Michael was elected deputy mayor because he came second after Max. So it could be something along those lines.
All right, I think it, as written, is good for me.
Yeah. We
Sick.
can flesh it out if we need to.
An employee of the state may not be formally conscripted into a multinational conflict. Works for me.
Okay.
Sure.
Number 11's another gimme, another fluff one, I suppose. Free mobile telecommunication services are provided by the state to all people in and about Los Santos. I specifically did not include citizens here because I think that everyone should have access to this particular service, even if they're an illegal citizen.
Oh, this is also I like this because this is also something we need. Because in other jurisdictions, when you subpoena someone's phone records, you have to go through like a private company, or you have to go through them to get their records and force them to
Right.
produce. Here, it's all state run, so we just extract it ourselves. So this just codifies what is already kind of policy.
Perfect.
Lovely.
Okay.
I guess my one thing I'd say is, you know, people are gonna cry that they haven't got phones in prison and stuff. Is that
Ooh, true.
there?
Yeah, that's handled by, again, the right's not conflicting with any other. You know,
okay.
being
Yeah.
there's already laws about contraband in prison, which includes
Fine with
phones
me
and
then.
things like that.
All right.
So,
Easy
you know,
enough.
right below that, we have the Ninth Amendment reiteration for Los Santos, which is each of these stated rights may not infringe upon the rights of others guaranteed by this document.
Or
Yeah, that's
conflict with
fair.
the penal code probably should be a
Mhm.
Okay, can you toss that in there?
Yeah.
The next one is potentially contentious. Also, I need to add something here. This next little blurb. I want to add a line that allows us to add to this document as well, if need be. Right now, that next blurb is about the people being able to raise issues and have a public vote to add stuff to this, provided it is not outright detrimental to the economic future of Los Santos, or if it is impossible. to give us some veto power insofar as someone coming up and being like, hey, I think everyone should have a bazooka, you know, and then obviously, you know, the people of Los Santos are going to be like, hell yeah. But, you know, obviously that's not possible for us to maintain law and order if everyone's got a bazooka, right?
Could they vote on something and then it's brought to us and we vote on it? Or is that circumvent the actual, like, pure vote that you're looking for?
I would
with this?
change economic to something else because there are things that are possible. I'm trying to think of how would you phrase that.
Why don't you just leave it as outright detrimental to the future of Los Santos?
As determined by the council. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they'll probably want something that will literally cripple the state account, and I can't have that. Yeah.
Okay. So the idea here is that concerned parties that represent a majority of the people of Los Santos have presented in clear terms a new privilege to be added to the Bill of Human Privilege to the local government. I left this vague on purpose. I didn't want to define a specific role. Basically, this says that, you know, anyone in the local government, i.e., maybe I should write, instead of local government, we put Council of 8 instead at the end there.
Should we put a limit on this or something? Because
you mean like proposals can only be proposed like once, like every like 3 months, or?
Well, I mean, for example, there was a lack of a limit on Twitter on the phones, so people started posting the script to like the B movie.
Mm-hmm.
You mean a character limit?
Similar? No, I mean like you know, a ballot limit. So only so many public privilege items will be voted on each period.
When you say period, do you mean every Council of 8 period?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to think through, you know, for example, I'm Chatterbox. I hear this. I'm going to submit like 15 different initiatives each week that deal with like clowns and being funny.
Only clown risk.
That's a good point.
I'm trying to think of how to make it so we're not tearing our eyes out.
Points in the first line to privilege?
Dealing with this shit. And so people also respect it as a process. Because if it gets abused and people just put random shit in there because they can, then
we'll have to stop it.
Maybe we should do our due diligence before the vote happens.
Yeah, that's the idea, right? Because step 1 is they bring it to us.
I thought it was step 2. It gets voted on the 80%, and then we decide if it's possible and not detrimental. I'm saying, what if we do our due diligence before it goes on the ballot?
Yeah, perfect. I'll just move this one up then.
Yeah, it says that there. If the 2 conditions are met, it will be put up for a vote.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the other way around. Never mind. I misunderstood.
Oh, past me did a good job.
Okay, I thought it was, if it was the 2 conditions are met, then it'll be enacted. Okay, all right. Perfect.
Sick. 3 a.m. me did a good job here.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're good. Oh, I need to add a line about I want the Council of 8 to be able to suggest stuff for this as well. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, we already can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down.
Well,
with
wait,
that.
why would we suggest it to a vote when we can just
add to it? I want us to be able to add to the Bill of Human Privilege.
Yeah, can we already do that? Like, just put
we can amend anything.
Okay, good.
vote to amend.
We can
the
amend
bill
the
to-
Constitution if we wanted to.
Okay, sick. All right. Just prettying this up a little bit. We've read through everything. Let's go for a vote. Any nays on the Bill of Human Privilege?
Yeah, give me a second just to scan this shit again.
Plus privilege at the bottom. The proposed privilege is something that's no, there's no S here, guys. L ethics for subbing. Vote nay after all of this deliberation. The other one? Which one? The furthermore line? Oh. Good eye. Good day, Chatter. Good day, mate. Good day, mate. Oh yeah, Lamau, I actually knew that. As Crane's reading over it, we're going to go through the vote here. I am obviously a yay, as this is something I presented. Nakota.
Yeah, as written, I'm a yay.
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 All right. Juno.
Yay.
Mr. Simone.
Yay.
Etta.
Yay.
Mr. Crane.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, the Bill of Human Privilege passes, securing basic rights and other assorted miscellaneous nonsense for the people of Los Santos. Unanimously, even, after some revision.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I
Next.
think it's in a good place.
Next, we have the so I drafted up a council pardoning process after we discussed the concept of a true pardon last time. It required some elaboration and work. Why don't you guys has anyone not read the council pardoning process document, report 1608?
I skimmed it, but let me do a full read.
Yeah, I read it.
Okay, I'm gonna
I've
take
read it.
a quick little breakaroo while everyone gets caught up, and I will be right back. I gotta talk to my wife real quick about something that we gotta do tomorrow that was just raised to my attention. Can I go up a little bit? Oh, that's fine. Council pardoning process. I'm gonna leave this on screen real quick. One sec. Had to go break the news to my kid that I'm going somewhere tomorrow and that we won't be able to spend time on my day off together. That's sad. Yeah, but he understood. He gave me permission. This is an idea suggested by my wife.
Make very clear that they just.
Hello.
It's not going to keep happening.
Yeah. But yeah.
Where'd Crane go?
Hello, welcome back. He said he left, didn't he? And then he walked out.
Do any of you guys have any issues with any of the wording in here?
Yes.
Okay, which part?
Michael and Malcolm.
Sorry, I can at least start with my first question I had written down after I read this morning is, does that mean every one of us could be conflicted except for you?
Correct.
So why would that be? Just
if it's like a freak instance happens in which case, because Los Santos is a big place with millions of people, right? But it seems like it seems like we run into the same usual suspects, right? To the point where it feels more like a small village at times.
Yeah. Yep.
So if there is a freak happening in which all of us are like or all of you guys might be like good friends with this person, or had like conflicting relationships with the person, or maybe you're involved in a court case and stuff, that's the situation in which it would happen. I don't think that would ever happen truly, but I decided to kind of cover that base if need be, and I chose the medical servants of Los Santos to fill in that particular situation because I think it's an inherently merciful and passionate, or not passionate, what's the word? An honorable profession that allows them to act more impartially, right? Because like a paramedic, they're kind of duty. For example, if we didn't have a doctor, a paramedic's kind of duty bound to treat anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Technically, we don't take an oath. Keep that in mind.
oh, really?
The counterpoint, Julio's a doctor.
Yeah, there's Reed is a doctor.
Well, hold on. I included a well-respected and trusted representative from the medical service of Los Santos.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah, and,
Yeah. I do get where you're coming from now, so that clears up my question.
Okay.
Only a question I had is why the fine?
that was another one.
Because a pardon doesn't technically mean that you're declaring that they didn't do it. It means you're declaring that for a various number of reasons, you don't believe they should be punished. And taking them out of jail, I get with, but refunding the fine is interesting.
I think it should be refunded because the concept of this iteration of a pardon kind of insinuates that their issue is raised to a point where people, or where it is the perception that they must not have actually done any wrong. Like the system failed at some point for them, and I think that they should be reimbursed for.
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask about that language too. So effectively, we're voting on whether or not we think the DOJ fucked it up.
Not explicitly.
Wasn't that what you just said?
Yeah, to you guys, but the way that it's written right now, it is. Look, it's a check and balance, right? On the judicial and legislative systems. A fine is part of the punishment, regardless. And I think if someone is found to be pardonable by whoever would be voting on that, deserves to have their money returned to them, because it insinuates that us, people who have been trusted with the responsibility to determine